right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today, my friend?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I am doing fantastic, having a good morning, and looking forward to this afternoon because, well, we'll talk about it. We get the economic calendar, but it's the big rate announcement day.
Yes, it
FOMC
is.
day.
Yes, it is. Friends, quick look at our gappers list here this morning. As you can see, a little bit of green, Tesla green this morning. That's a rare sight to see. BABA and some other tickers on deck as well. And then to the gap down, Intel giving some back of their moves, their gains over the last couple of days. And VNet, which we've seen plenty of times. We'll dive into all the details there on our gappers list. Brought to you by TradingTerminal.com, which, by the way, I saw a brand new change in TradingTerminal.com. So we're gonna look at that together in just a second here. Did you see that? Looks nice. Yeah. So we'll dive into that.
New menus, new structure.
Awesome, man. All right, let's get to our U.S. economic calendar. Peter, what we got going on today?
Well, like I said, there's only one thing. It looks like the whole market is just focused on this FOMC interest rate decision. So, as what usually happens, the rate decision is announced at 2 o'clock, and then the press conference starts 30 minutes later at 2:30. Usually what we can expect is that we'll get a move in the market, a jump up or a drop down with a retracement right as the FOMC rate is announced. You can't tell which direction because it depends on what the rate decision is. And then when the press conference starts, it's sometime after the start of the conference, depending on the fixed comments from Powell, which usually don't elicit much change, but it's the Q&A that often get the market moving again. So we'll have to see what happens this afternoon. It could be interesting. There's usually trading opportunities. For the rate itself, the expectation is currently 99% of all analysts are expecting that the rate will remain constant at its current rate. There's only 1% that think we're going to get a quarter point rate cut. So the consensus right now is that there's going to be no change in the Fed rate. We'll see. It's a wild card a little bit because it's, this is unknown territory with all of the tariffs that are proposed, as well as those that have already been temporarily imposed. The Fed's rate decision is, they don't want to knee-jerk react to anything. And frankly, there hasn't been a significant impact yet to the U.S. economy based on that. So I think that, it feels fairly, reasonable that the Fed is probably going to hold the rate constant and wait and see. That being said, if the Fed decides to take a more aggressive stance, and the market is surprised by that, my goodness, the market will move and it'll move heavy. So if the rate comes out with no change, then we should see a fairly modest move. If the rate comes out anything different than no change, get ready, buckle in, because it could be interesting. But again, the expectation is, 99% expectation that there'll be no change in the rate. So that's the only thing on the calendar today. So we'll watch for that this afternoon. This morning, we're free to trade whatever's gapping and whatever is moving based on current price action.
Yep, absolutely, friends. All right, let's take a quick look at our Trading Terminal gappers list brought to you by TradingTerminal.com, which, by the way, we continue to update this site. And if you look at it this morning, let's take a quick look at it. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. You can see here some pretty nice changes. I like them so far. So you can see the menu has been moved over to the side. You got some scanners coming up here, biggest volume pre-market. So I do like that there. That can be easy to quickly spot what's moving today, what's got some action. And then you got, this menu looks a lot more organized than what it was before. So free website, guys, tons of information you can take advantage of. Our trading terminal scanners is what we look at every morning, the gap up and gap down. And that's, again, 90% of my watch list comes from this list. The other maybe 10 or 20% comes from just stuff that's been in play, like Nvidia, usual suspects, Max 7. That might not be on this list that we're always constantly looking at. For Peter, would be like AMD or something, right? But majority comes from this list here, and what you guys point out to us. All right, let's get to it. First one on deck is LSE. Energy ticker up here 75%. Wow, 4.3 million shares traded. Hard to borrow. The flow is tiny, 1.5 on this one, Peter. So not too excited about that. it probably won't fit my criteria. And the pre-market actually is not even showing us something great that we can look forward to. Like ADTX, right, had a very nice pre-market activity for those that do trade in the pre-market. But obviously, great news for them. They're rocking this morning.
I have no idea what's going on. I don't really see any news. Not a lot of analysts are covering this stock. It's it's a low float, so we don't. They provide clean energy services to oil and gas companies. I don't know. It's a Chinese holding company. Sometimes when you get these Chinese companies, they will move, and we will never know why. Right? Somebody has some volume against it that might have taken a couple of big trades. I like you said, Carlos. It actually, I was going to say it doesn't look great pre-market, but it actually doesn't look as bad as I thought. Um, I don't know what to make of this, to be honest. It feels like a low float play. So if you're interested in oil and gas low float today, here you go. LSE might be your candidate, but it's not something I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to trade.
Yep. Sorry, I was on mute. I agree with you, Peter. So again, it's not doesn't fit our style. So we'll move over to the next one, KC, and this is Kingfisher Cloud Holdings, and they are up today 10%, 614,000 shares traded. We're very familiar with this ticker. For the most part, it's not gonna be on my list. Doesn't trade very well unless you're gonna give me a blockbuster catalyst here, Peter. It's just doesn't really trade very well for me. What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, at least I know why it's moving in this case. They had earnings this morning. Looks like they beat their numbers. 305.8 million in reported revenue versus a 270 million estimate. And then their earnings, well, they didn't lose as much money as people thought. They thought they were going to lose 11 cents a share. They only lost a penny. So actually, pretty good news on their earnings. Looks like they've been fairly quiet as to what their financial guidance is. So their guidance is just in line with expectations. They have not reforecast anything higher or lower, which I guess is good. So Casey moving on that earnings news this morning. Yeah, like again, only 600,000 shares. I'd like to see more if this was something I was going to trade. It's cloud. It's a cloud service company, so they're cloud. I don't know. Cloud used to be the hot thing. Now, like I'm surprised they haven't renamed themselves to King's Soft AI Holdings. Like you gotta get with the times, right? If you really want your stock to move, you got to throw some AI or some quantum in there.
100%. This should have at least have AI. I mean, I have AI on my name in the
Yeah,
chat. If you look at my
there
name,
you
it's
go.
Carlos AI. I mean, I'm trying to fit in with the growth. So, yeah, definitely got to put that in there. Let's take a look at our good buddy Tesla. Man, oh man, Tesla has been rough at the open, but the reversals continue to happen. Once again, Peter, yesterday, the reversal came to the rescue for a lot of us. Where's yesterday's action? Right over here. Yesterday, 318. Yeah, so right in here. Again, reversal at around 10 o'clock, a little bit earlier than usual, but then again here, another reversal back up to VS. So Paris took a nice trade here. He took advantage of this pop here. He was trading live with you guys on YouTube. And I also took this one as well. So again, reversals happening on Tesla here and there after very interesting sell-offs. Today, we are actually on the upside of things. We're up 2.8 this morning, 3.3 million shares traded. Daily looks obviously very interesting. We'll be in play as usual. We'll be watching this one closely. Peter, we have heard tons of news from you on Tesla and new headlines and this and that. And this person got pissed off and this was not happy. I saw a card. I saw a video yesterday of somebody putting on the back of their Cybertruck Toyota in those like Toyota caption letters. It looks so. Actually, it look good. Like that looks like it looks nice. It's just very interesting. In New York too, they were crossing the it looks like they were doing it over the Queens Bridge. But it's a lot of stuff there. Anything new today?
Look, I mean, every day there seems to be a handful or multiple handfuls of news here on Tesla. So what's new today? Oh my God, like I can't even list them all. In Las Vegas, Molotov cocktails were thrown at at a Cybertruck, and the police announced that they've coordinated with the FBI to launch an investigation as they're calling it a terrorist attack. Okay. The Musk had an interview with Hannity, and that went as oddly as you would expect it. Musk is just he's an odd interview, right? So it was one of it sort of went as you would expect. On Tesla news directly, California gave them a permit for the robo taxis, so they're now officially allowed to release them into the wild, and you may see robo taxis roaming your streets in California. So that's been approved. So that's good news for the company. The Cybertruck. I mean, we talked about. I just mentioned the Molotov cocktails. Look, if you bought a Cybertruck just because you thought it was cool or you wanted to be on the leading edge and had no intention of it being a political symbol, you may be a little confused right now because it has become a very polarized political symbol,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
At one point, they're calling it the most hated vehicle on the planet. Others, people are using it as a political billboard. So, it's got to be. I actually feel bad for a lot of Cybertruck owners that just said, you know what, hey, like I'm gonna get this thing. I think it's cool, and they'll get it. And
I
with
gotta
no
deal with
intention of
this.
trying to
Yeah,
make.
you're right.
Yeah, they
It's
did. They,
yeah,
they, they didn't
yeah,
sign up for this. That's not what they were trying to
right.
do, and now they're caught in the middle. And yeah, it's
And it's
crazy out
funny,
there.
even
So
regardless of like, even if they're for Musk, like let's say they're all Republican, they're for Musk, they still don't want that type of attention, man. You want to go by your day,
right,
mind your business, and not have to deal with that, right? So, yeah, it's not
yeah.
not good, not good. And this is why those sales are just again, we'll have to see how this develops, man. It's wild, but but yeah, I'm with
Well,
you, Peter. It's a good point.
and as I said, people are of course reacting in the chat. And I said, this is nothing about Musk. I'm just saying, the individual out there who just was trying to buy a vehicle and now they're caught in this thing. Anyways, I find it fascinating. What is it interesting to me? Like you said, the Tesla stock has been moving because nobody quite knows what to do with it. I think at this point, like if you look at sort of where we've been on the daily, yeah, look how sort of it dropped heavily, but then it sort of rebounded. But look at how tiny these little candles are. Like it's sort of been everybody's been very tentative with Tesla. What do we do with it at these levels, right? It hasn't got down to the 200 level, so it's not like everybody's abandoning ship on Tesla. It's not that dire. There's still a company with strong technology and a good place in the market. So if we can ignore the political stuff that surrounds on Elon and what's going on there, Tesla as a company is still trying to run their business, right, and drive opportunities. So these robo taxis in California might help them drive that. It's a confusing mixed world, but it does give trading opportunities. Tesla, I continue to watch every single day just because I figure, you know what? I mean, it moves on a regular day, so I can get some small trades out of it. And one time, I'm just going to be in the right place at the right time. And this thing is either going to pop or drop. And if I'm there, who knows? I could get like one of these trades that makes your year. So I'm just keeping an eye on it for that reason.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. A couple of comments here on Tesla. Again, Tesla is such a talked about a company. Vancouver Auto Show dropped the Tesla. I mean, is Tesla worthy of an auto show? Maybe it's just the Cybertruck, but the car seems the same. I mean, their models look, aside from politics and everything else, their car model has been the same for like 15 years. Like,
Yeah,
they
they
be having
haven't.
these small changes, Peter. They'll be like, oh, we changed the light from going flat to going this way. I'm like, what?
You know, I,
How?
So I have to be careful here because you're right. The I'm surprised the styling of the Tesla models have not changed significantly over the years. That being said, full disclosure, I'm a Porsche driver, and if you're not a Porsche person, then you might think the same of Porsches, right? A 911,
Very
people can't
true.
tell the
Yeah.
difference from one year to the next. That being
Yeah.
said, if you know your Porsches, I can usually tell what year it is, pretty easily. But I mean, it's sort of the reality. But then, I've noticed these days, and maybe this is me just getting old. I used to be able to take pride in the fact that I could identify any car on the road just by their headlights. Like at night, if a car came up behind me, I knew which car it was just by their headlight design. I understood. I could tell what car. Nowadays, even in the bright daylight, if you show me like 5 SUVs, I honestly cannot tell the difference. Like cars have really, we've come into this very
Yeah.
similar type models. Like everything looks the same. I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, maybe it's just me getting old or something. But we don't have. Where's the creative designs? Where's the really unique cars? That being said, I have to go back. This is the Peter rant. Every time there has been a creative design, I think it looks ridiculous. And my apologies to
Until it
anybody
grows
out there,
into you.
but
Yeah.
you know what? Some of these, like one of the cars that I hate with a passion. I hate. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Anyways, you know what? I don't want to insult anybody, but there's just some cars out there that they just bug the crap out of me because I'm like, that is such a stupid car. But anyways, all right. Never mind. We'll move on.
We know we're gonna bug you for what that car is. We're not gonna let that
Yeah.
go.
Well, like maybe I'll go with an older model. What are the older models that they tried to do something different? I'll give them credit for that. But the PT Cruiser, what a
Oh,
ugly ass
that's
car,
a
man.
ugly car. I
If
rented that
anybody's
car
still
in
if
Florida.
anybody's still driving a PT Cruiser, then you know what? They're not good on you because those things were also not built to last. So, um, but anyways, there's a couple of newer cars out there that just bug the heck out of me. And anyways, actually, one day I rented a Nissan Cube. Anybody have a Nissan Cube? I honestly thought I was driving like a box on wheels. What a weird car. Anyways,
We can do
all
a
right.
whole podcast, guys, on car conversations here. But I just
All
remember
right.
we got
Anyways, moving
trading to
on.
do. So, but yeah, oh, I want to add
Yeah,
so much
yeah,
stuff to this, Peter, but I can't. I can't.
yeah.
We'll look at stocks, my friend. Here is our gappers list this morning. ADTX back on the list here again. Low flow stock. I don't think. I remember the bid that I saw yesterday. It didn't seem like it traded well. It traded well after the market opened. So let's see here. Yeah, I know it got halted. Also, actually did keep going higher. I saw the halt because you guys called it out, but I didn't see they actually did keep going higher all the way up to 10. Wow. Okay. So this is definitely what had a day of action here. This morning they're up again, 10% this time right now. And again, low flow stock. Be very, very careful. I like to watch these and just see how they do, but for the most part, I won't be looking at it. Pre-market action doesn't look as sexy as yesterday. Yesterday, pre-market action was really clean. So we'll see if that continues to get better. But for the most part, again, low flow stock, guys, be very, very
I know.
careful with that one. Peter, anything to add on this one?
ADTX. I'm just looking here because what the heck? I mean look, okay, so apparently effective yesterday, they had a 1 for 250 reverse stock split. I don't didn't we look at this yesterday? I don't remember this.
I
What?
don't remember that happening, but
I don't but look at the daily. Call up the daily chart and then just
yeah.
zoom back a little bit. Just
Oh,
zoom,
yeah.
see. So I can't believe the stock price was $28,000 at one point. So clearly something has gone on here. Oh, sorry, $320,000. Like clearly something's going on here. So, anyways, look, that's yeah, like look at that daily. That's absolutely ridiculous. So,
doesn't doesn't
all
make
right.
any
So,
sense.
I mean, usually when you get a weird stock chart like that, they must have done some readjustment, and it always messes up the stock chart. Because yeah, now we're stock price. What is it? $300,000 a share if you go back 2 years. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't
yep.
even. What the hell is this one? $4.4 million in 2022 per share. $8 million in no. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, whatever. Yeah, that big
Yeah,
spike, Carlos, is 8.8 million right at the top
yeah,
there.
yep.
So compared to $8, so something's happened. Anyways, look, whatever's going on with this thing, it's a low float. It's trading volume right now. Like it seems to be in play. They did have, more than just the stock split. They did have an announcement of, and I think I mentioned this yesterday, that they submitted a funding proposal for their treatment that for this ADTX transaction. Anyways, that this is sorry, it's not a treatment, but it's a cooperative agreement with U.S. Air Force. Anyways, for the expansion of a contract. So it's
Yeah.
funny because this thing is dated. Oh, it is dated yesterday, so it's the same article that I saw yesterday. So I guess they've got some
Nice.
good news in amongst the stock split. Whether it's going to give it good trading opportunity, like you mentioned, it did move up yesterday off the open, so it definitely had some opportunity. Can it do it again today? Possibly. I mean, it's in play. It might be worth watching just for fun, but not my type of stock. This is a low float, so if you like those, this looks like a good candidate.
Yeah, yeah. And just for full disclaimer here, we had this before Elon became alliance to any political party. Okay, so we had
That's
this for
true.
years. If you've been around, this has nothing to do with political stuff. It's just funny for us. We have this one. We have this one, and we have this one. Has nothing to do with us dissing Elon. I like Elon. I really do. I like him. So this is just funny to us. So just keep in mind, all of these are prior political madness. All right, let's go here, friends. We looked at Tesla. We looked at ADTX. We looked at KC. So far, nothing has made the list. I mean, these are not great. Besides Tesla, it's the only one that's going to be on our list so far. Let's look at the IonQ stuff. This thing is making some noise here. We got Rigetti. We got IonQ on deck this morning. We'll start with Rigetti Spaghetti RGTI. Let's see what's going on here. Up 2.7. 1.8 million shares traded. Hard to borrow on SSR given the sell-off in the last 2 days. You just never know with this stock. Like, it could just take off from one day to the next. I mean, it's trading pretty bad right now. And look at the day we had last week. It was last week. What day? Say Wednesday. So again, you just don't know. This was Friday. So you can watch it if we have the space. I'll keep an eye on it. Rigetti, IonQ is the other one that's also making some noise here. Up 2.1, volume about 653,000. Again, not really a big mover at the moment, but they can get going at any time, right? We got some other ones. We got QMCO, we got QUBT, and what's the other one? QBTS. I don't see anything explosive. They had a great move over the last couple of days, and they're just kind of quiet for right now. QBTS not doing a whole lot at all. So I'll add Rigetti to my list, but for the most part, I think that's about it, Peter. Anything to add on Quantum?
Quantum is going to be in play today. I think we've got that panel happening at this, I keep mentioning it, the GTC conference, which Nvidia is putting on in San Jose, California. We had the keynote speaker from the CEO yesterday. Didn't actually create as much of a stir as I was expecting. It's fairly, I don't know, fairly innocuous in his comments, but they do have this panel with developers from IonQ, D-Wave Quantum, which is the QBTS, Rigetti Spaghetti. They're going to have some of their people there. So there's a whole, they got a number of quantum speakers that are going to be at the quantum event today. So remember, this is a buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't know what time that is today. If anybody knows, that would be of interest. But you could probably get some trading opportunity early. I would just be careful later in the day because people, well, actually, maybe it'll be a downside because, again, if you're selling the news, it might be that this thing goes up in the morning and then down in the afternoon. We'll have to see what happens. But I'm definitely keeping an eye on at least one quantum stock. Probably I'll flip between QBTS and RGTI because they tend to get the volume and I like the way they move.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's take a look at what else we have going on here, guys. I'm going to update my banner in just a second here with some of those. Baba is next on the list. So Baba this morning, we are up 2.2 right now, 750,000 shares traded. And as you can see here, it's just kind of been holding their gains. Like if you look at the daily, they've been up nicely, going sideways. They had a nice day on Monday. Didn't do much yesterday as far as just selling off here, and today we're just kind of flat. So not sure if it's heavily in play. I mean, I like Baba, so it'll probably be on my secondary list again today. But I don't see anything great. I know we had the stimulus, right? The Chinese stimulus kind of got it going again, Peter. And we'll have to wait how that goes. I know their president wants to talk to our president and talk about tariffs and see how those deals go. So we just got to wait till we get more news. I don't see anything great on it right now.
Yeah, Tencent and Baba both announced that they have increased their spending on AI, despite the promise of super cheap AI that came out of DeepSeek, which, by the way, I don't know if that was ever substantiated. I haven't seen any follow-up on that. Is it really 95% cheaper to, develop the AI engine for DeepSeek compared to others? It feels like that's not the case, or we would have heard more. But anyways, that was the original claim. Maybe that's been disproven already. I do not know. But Baba and Tencent have said that they both have ambitions in this space and they're investing more heavily. So that's good. That keeps them in the news. I do think that the Chinese sector, just from a trading perspective, has some possibilities here because it's a sector that can move contrary to the rest of like US based stocks. So as we're seeing, uncertainty happen on the US economy, it could be that we get some opportunity for sort of more movement here on the stocks of China, whether they go up or down. So I think again, I was watching Bubba yesterday, and man, it had a drop off the open, but then sort of went sideways for the rest of the day. So you got to be careful with it. I wasn't prepared to trade it off the open. I did have a good trade though, and I think as for those that were peak capital trading, I traded live with them, and I actually took a short on Tesla. Like I said, watch it every day. It was my one good trade. I stuck in it for a couple of hours, and sort of gave me a good trading opportunity as I took it from the open down to the lows. So, but anyways, this one, Carlos, I'm probably less interested in watching the Chinese stocks today compared to quantum, but overall, I always keep Baba usually on a screen just as sort of a bellwether to tell me what the Chinese stocks are doing, and if it really starts to move, then I know to pay closer attention.
Yeah, I know there's a headline I got from our producer here. He says BofA warns of Chinese stock correction coming soon, similar to what happened in 2015. But have Chinese stocks really gone up that much? I mean, I only see Baba. They've been pretty down. So what correction are they going to get here? Back to zero? Like, I don't understand how that translates to some tickers, right? Because they haven't seen that much move higher. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, and I think that covers our gap up, friends. That's every ticker on the gap up list this morning. Let's see, Peter, anything you like so far that's on the upside of things today?
You know what? Pick any one of the Magnificent Seven stocks. They are all gapping up this morning, so it looks like a good pick. Again, Tesla we already talked about. Definitely going to be focusing on Tesla. Microsoft has been moving fairly consistently. If you pick the right direction, you can sort of get some moves recently, and I like how sort of just smooth it's been relatively. It's been largely moving with the markets, but so have a lot of things. So nothing exceptional there. And I think with this GTC conference going on, and the expectation of perhaps some other announcements coming out of it, I'm going to keep close eye on on Nvidia, as I have. Yesterday was a good morning for it. If anybody caught that long, I did not, unfortunately, but had a decent
on which ticker?
move yesterday. Nvidia.
Okay.
I'm thinking that it had a decent move yesterday. If you sort of dropped very heavy at the open, and then a big pop up, like there was some, so good moves. It just, you had to sort of catch them pretty quickly to take advantage. So, this morning it's moving again, and definitely looks like it's going to be in play once again. So those are my favorites.
Yep, absolutely. Message chat here. Look at KWeb to see how much Chinese stocks have moved. Let's take a look, KWeb. So thank you, Hong King Chang. So I guess I gotta trust that you know about this this place here based on your name. But yeah, that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. Let's take a look here on the daily. Yeah. And what's the underlying stocks on these, man? Like, what are they looking at? I'm not gonna say 500, but top 50. Like, we'd like to know what's the play here. But yeah, it's decent move all of January, and again, very similar to what we saw for us before the beginning of the year. So let's see. Hang Seng Index has moved 200% since January. World's largest. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, perfect.
So this is this KWeb. Yeah, the KWeb seems to be a fund that is mostly comprised of internet companies that provide similar services to Google, Facebook, Twitter, eBay, and Amazon. So it's all of the Chinese tech stocks that we talk about.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Let's take a look at. Speaking of, did you see Google yesterday? The sell-off on Google was intense. So yesterday, you guys called it out. I know a lot of stuff sold off, but Google seemed to be having a very rough start. Recover a little bit, but man, their daily also showing some weakness here. Now I know they had to pay. I got this line here. What is it? They had to pay like 28 million. Google agrees to pay 28 million over ratio bias case. 28 million is. Come on, guys. You want to make these guys feel the pain? 28 million? That's nothing.
Yeah, that's what Google gives their kids for the tooth fairy teeth. I mean, that's
Right.
sofa cushion money, as we call it. Like, that's nothing for Google.
That's so I'm sure that's not the headline dropping this at all, because in fact, if that's how much if that's all they had to pay, the stock should be gapping up like 20%. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just nothing.
exactly.
It should be going the other way. Um, all right. So that covers our gap down. Let's take a look at our gap up. We don't have, I don't expect to get much out of the gap down besides Intel. Let's take a look at GDS. GDS this morning, we are down 15%, 819,000 shares traded. This typically doesn't trade very well, but today they're down. And maybe we're going to get some good volume. Their volume throughout the day, very, very light, as you can see here on the daily, but for the most part, today's might be different. Already they're showing some signs of some movement here. Peter, is this a big gap down, almost 15%? What's the latest and greatest?
I this is one of these. This is a Chinese holding company, right? GDS International Limited, I think, is what they're actually listed as, and GDS Holdings Limited International. So, all right, it feels like they just took a bunch of generic terms and let's throw it in the title. They did have earnings. They released their earnings numbers, which not terribly interesting because I don't have it. I don't have a lot of analysts reviews to compare it against. So, the company reports that they had an increase of 9.1% year over year in earnings. They had a net loss of operations, so they're in a money losing position. Sure, okay. Like, I don't know what to make of it because, again, nobody seems to really care to follow. So I assume they're gapping down because they increased their losses, and net revenue for the year was lower than the previous year. So, but other than that, I don't know what to make. I'm just
Yeah,
going to ignore it.
this is not going to be on my list for sure. Let's take a look at the next one. IMVT. Oh man, that is ugly. That is not looking nice. If you look at the pre-market action, it's just all over the place. 1.3 million shares traded. We're down 7.4. But it just looks so bad. So I'm gonna skip on this, Peter. What's the float on this? It is actually 69.3. So it's not a low float, but this looks just nasty. Peter, you want to waste some time on this?
Ugh. Sure. Let me try and say some things that I don't understand. They announced, so the company announced positive test results. Obviously, the market is not buying it. It met the endpoint according to them, but clearly those in the know say that it's not good. So they announced a positive results for their batoclimab mastopenia gravis and their chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy studies. Oof, my God. I probably mispronounced like all those words. In any event, I should have just said they're MG and CIDP studies, but I thought I would give it a shot. So yeah, there you go. Like, usually it's not that easily tradable when you get that type of news, unless you get massive volume, early on. I mean, right now we're seeing only 1.4 million shares, so it's not that bad. But look at that early price action before 8 o'clock. Like, it's just crazy, going from $15 to $23 in the matter of a minute. Like, what do you do with that? I don't even know
Yeah,
what you
yeah.
do with those candles. So I'm like, it just, that scares me away right there. So yeah, I'm out.
And it's funny because if you look at well, not funny, but look at the daily, right? You think, oh, it trades okay, right? From 20 to about 1875 or so. But if you look at the way this thing traded yesterday, how it made that drop, it is just, again, brutal. There's no way to trade this. It's just no volume. You can't even see the volume candles. I gotta zoom in a little more. There it is. You're trading 8,000, 5,000 per 5 minute. It's like two people trading each other there. So yeah, this just doesn't make any sense. Only the brokers winning on this one. All right, let's take a look at what else we have here. Last one and not least is going to be, oh, actually, no, we got two more. VNet. VNet is one. And so VNet we've seen over the last couple of days because they've been gapping up and down. If you look at this daily, they've just been back and forth. So they've been making our list every time. But I haven't kept them on at all. And good reasons why. This is yesterday's pre-market activity. I mean, this is just another garbage truck here. So we'll leave this alone. Again, the daily is just bouncing around a little bit. So it's making it there it is. This are from yesterday. It's making it bounce all over the place, but it's just brutal. This is the actual market open. That is, man, we haven't seen something that bad in a long time. So that is pretty nasty. Peter, I forgot what the original news was on this that made it gap up into our list to begin with. I can't remember what it was, but again, won't be on my list. Um,
What was the? Yeah, well, I don't know what the news was today. They announced that they closed a secondary offering, $430 million worth of
mhm.
convertible notes due in 2030, so 5 years out. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, whatever that news was, I don't. I mean, they had earnings last week. Other than that, yeah, I don't see much.
Yeah, not a whole lot there. All right, last one is Intel on the gap down list. INTC is the ticker, and this morning we are seeing a gap down. So some weakness after a lot of strength over the last couple of days. Last four trading days have been decent for them, especially starting into this week. Today, giving some of that back, and you can see here they always get volume, like 3.4 million for Intel. It is it's not an issue. It's not really huge because if you look at their daily, they're constantly pumping out some decent volumes above 100 million for the most part, into 200 at times. So volume is not an issue. It's just are they going to trade well today? I feel like this stock has definitely, if you look at February, right after mid-February or so, look at the increase in volume and look how the daily candles have been much better than what we saw before, right? So I think it's a stock that we have to watch because at any given point can give you a $2-3 move very easily. I think it's a nice one, Peter. What's your thoughts on it? Any news as well?
Well, this is sort of the absence of news. Remember yesterday I said when the keynote speech at this GTC conference goes, there's probably four things that might be addressed, right? That you would expect the NVIDIA CEO to address. What are the big ticket items that affect this industry right now? You would have, of course, their chipset, their Blackwell and new chips that they would want to talk about. Of course, you would have AI that you have an expectation. There might be a conversation about quantum because it's been so much in the news. And the fourth was the foundry services. Are they going to be moving some production onshore into North America, and what might that look like? That last one, there was basically no mention of that in his presentation that I'm aware of. And it looks like Intel, people were sort of hoping that, of course, Intel being the lead on that and that owns the current foundry, that they would, sort of get a nod, and there might be some mention about Nvidia, working with them on it. Pretty silent on that. Not that much of a surprise, I suppose, if you think about it. You're not, if you can avoid it, as much as you're probably doing the work in the background, you don't necessarily want to promote your competition. So even when you're partnering with them on specific, events or activities. So it feels like Intel. It seems like it's dropping a little bit, probably on the concern that is that partnership not as solid as it should be. I don't think it's in jeopardy. I think that Nvidia is as committed as a lot of their competition is, because they need to work together the same way they all use the same foundry services in Taiwan right now, right? Like pretty much everybody manufactures chips through Taiwan Semiconductor, because setting up a foundry is extraordinarily expensive and complicated. And that's why Taiwan Semiconductor built themselves a very niche business where they were managed to do it for pretty much everybody in the world. So I'm not concerned overall for that business, but it's interesting to me that Intel is dropping largely, like I said, on the absence of news. So will it be in play today, Carlos? I'm a little skeptical. Like Intel, I don't love trading it on the best of days. So, and this doesn't feel like one of those best of days.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm just seeing some comments here on YouTube. So yeah, the charting software for tradingterminal.com is there. Just click on simulator and I see it. So I see it here. So I'm not sure if anything has changed when it comes to that, or if you're talking about something different. But I do see a simulator here, which has the charts and everything else. So take a look. Let me know if that's not what you're looking for, and we can find out if something that was there disappeared. We might just check with the team and see what's going on. All right. All right. Perfect. Peter, we'll go right back to you, man. Anything else you like that might not be on the gap down list? We talked about Intel. I'm gonna put these guys on my secondary list. I think they could be a lot of fun today. And again, they just get volume out of nowhere. They've been trading very well, especially in the last month. Anything else you like that might not be on this list?
Well, I'll just mention one that I see a lot of our members talking about in the chat room. Google, we sort of brushed over that. I mean, I sort of mentioned the Magnificent Seven in passing. But yesterday, uh, in the morning, Google announced the fact that they were making a $30 to $33 billion acquisition for a cybersecurity company called Wiz. And it looks like that it dropped their stock. One of our boot campers, in fact, was trading that, and she had a fantastic trade on it and did really good. So if you're out there, congrats again on that good trade. Yeah, look, 30. We were talking about how inconsequential 26 million was. 33 billion, frankly, is not that much more impactful. When you're a company worth a couple of $1 trillion, you can make $30 billion acquisitions without really cracking a sweat. So I don't know whether that was specifically what dropped it, but usually an acquiring company does see a hit when they make an acquisition because they bear all the risk of that integration activity. Are they paying a fair price? How's it going to work? Are they keeping management, or are they paying out management? All that stuff that comes with making an acquisition. So Google feels well positioned for a potential bounce back today, especially with the whole market looking a little green. So yeah, it might be worth watching today. I mean, again, it had a good trading day yesterday. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be followed up by a good trading day today, but it might bear keeping an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends, we'll go to you guys. I see you guys mentioning SMCI quite a bit here, so I'm going to add it to my list as well. What else you guys have on deck this point that we can take a look at? What else is on here for us? In the meantime, SMCI, I mean, it's not really looking great right now. I mean, we're up 2.8, 1.3 million shares traded. But they get great volume throughout the pre-market. It just all comes down to how the big volume is going to move this one around a little bit. I do see some back and forth here on the daily, so we've been just kind of setting a good support. Seems to be right on the 200 moving average, like literally just kind of following it nicely there. Again, getting a little bit of a pop now in the pre-market, but nothing really explosive. Just one candle here for right now, so nothing really that jumps out at me at the moment. All right.
Boeing, I see one of our members mentioned Boeing, which got me to just do a little research. Here's some, look, I like space news. Here's some random space news. Remember those astronauts that got stuck on the International Space Station?
For 9
they've been
months,
up there
yeah.
for 9 months, 9 months longer than they anticipated because the Boeing spacecraft that was supposed to bring them back failed. And they had all sorts of problems figuring out how to get them back. Well, it turns out that a SpaceX craft went and rescued them, and did manage to bring them back. So they're safely on Earth now. And hey, congrats to SpaceX. So there you go. Some Musk adjacent news, or so there you go. He went and rescued those astronauts.
Peter, are we going to see 30 newspaper feeds giving Musk credit for this? Because when he does something wrong, there's like 30 headlines from different channels, right? Can we do the same for the positive stuff?
SpaceX did rescue them, so they deserve credit for it. Credit where it's due.
My question is, why is Boeing going up? I mean, this should be bad on you. You got them stuck there to begin with. Like, why are you going up?
That's a good question, but I think it's this, that again, in the buy the rumor, sell the news type of theory, which the market operates on, it was a risk for Boeing the longer they stayed up there. Because if they stayed up there and something drastic happened, then that's all Boeing's fault. It's already been priced in the fact that Boeing's spacecraft failed and left them stranded there, right? That's really old news. They've been up there for 9 months. But the fact that they're back safely just eliminates that risk factor. And, it's one of those, it's almost like a relief pop on Boeing, because they no longer have that risk of killing the astronauts, so to speak, to be blunt about it.
Yeah, so, when you put it like that, it makes perfect sense. I see that. Yeah. All right, excellent, friends. Guys, my list.
I like Bob P. He's saying, actually, Peter, the Boeing spacecraft didn't fail. It just had an error they couldn't get rid of. Okay. Well,
you failed. Did you get the job done? No, you failed.
Yeah, the software didn't fail. It just operated in a way that we couldn't predict, nor did we understand. So, okay, call it
Yeah,
what you want, but it still didn't do the thing it was supposed to do. I'll put
that's
that in the fail column.
absolutely. Let's
Anyways,
let's let's call a spade, my friends. Very simple. All right, friends, that is my list right now. Very light. I'm gonna add some more stuff here. I mean, I'll add Nvidia. Let's do that. I'll put Nvidia on deck this morning. We'll be watching that one again. Trading very well with tons of volume. So we'll do Nvidia here on the main list. I might move some of my secondary stuff up as well. I have Tesla, SMCI. I'm on the fence. I'll put in a secondary for now, and we'll see where it goes there. And yeah, that's what I have for now. Tesla and Nvidia is what I really like, and we'll look at Apple. We'll look at some other ones as we get closer to the market open. But right now, let's get to our community events and announcements. See what's happening there. We'll do some levels for the little bit of stuff that we have, and we'll see what else we like. I mean, right now, I'm not seeing anything great that I will personally want on my trading list at the moment, but we'll find something.
yeah, okay, all right. So let's. All right, sorry.
Nope,
All
all
right,
good.
let's take a look at Wednesday. Psychology webinars. I got to get my psychology in line here. Maybe I need to attend a webinar. You know what? I've got some opportunity then. We've got a couple sessions happening today. We're again doing the trading questions answered by Pierre at 11 o'clock in the webinar room, followed by Dr. Vanessa Charland, who's going to be doing her second futures trading insight session. So for those of you that attended the last session, you know what it was like and how good it was. Hopefully you'll have an opportunity to attend again at noon. She's a very active trader. She's going to share her trading strategy with us, and that'll be happening at noon in the webinar room for all of our elite members. Two great sessions there with Pierre at 11 and Vanessa at noon. Then at oh wait, we got the same one listed again. Wait a second, what's happening? No, that's got to be 8 o'clock. Is Dr. Charlin, Mike, are you out there? Is Dr. Charlin doing the overnight shift strategy tonight? Or is this the same session? Because I've got it listed twice here. Anyways, I'm not sure. Guys, we'll get some clarity on this. Normally we have an 8 p.m. session, right? 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. We normally do a psychology session. I think there's one tonight, but I don't have one listed here properly because it says 12 o'clock. So I'm not positive whether Dr. Charlin's going to be doing two sessions for it today or if it's really just the one at noon. So you want to attend the one at noon because clearly that is happening and you don't want to miss that opportunity. So
Yeah.
anyways, that's the session.
Are there twins? Because look at this picture is different than this picture, so maybe there's two of them, and they're just gonna have different. I don't know, but we gotta figure that out. We'll fix that.
Yeah,
I guess
I don't think
she's the futures trader, and then this doctor is the psychologist. So we'll have to figure out what takes place here. All right, we'll fix that, friends.
One's the AI image of the other one, the AI bot. Anyway.
If Dr. Charlotte is here, we're gonna hear from her very soon.
Right.
But yeah, we'll figure that out.
Right.
We'll get information.
That's what we got. We'll confirm that for our members exactly what's happening. What we do know is happening is that we have live trading in the chat room like we do every single day happening throughout the market hours. So if you wanted to join us, we've got a number of membership options. You've got that listed on the screen here. Our spring sale is still happening. So if you want to take advantage of the Elite Annual at a discounted price, you just use that Spring 50 code and you can get 50% off. So there you go. That's what we've got happening. And like Carlos said, check out tradingterminal.com. We use it for the scanners here in the morning. We've got a new look and a new approach this morning. So yeah, the website's looking good. And yeah, scanners are revamped. I've got them up on the screen and giving us everything I need to know. So lots happening, lots of cool stuff.
I haven't had a chance to dig into this new look, but because I just saw it this morning. But look at this. This is nice. I like the new calendar look. So that is looking pretty clean there. So yeah, can't wait to dive into that and see what other changes they made there. All right, friends, let's take a look here. On my list, Tesla, Nvidia is all I have right now. I'll add some more as we get to the market open, but let's do some levels for these at least. So if we look at Tesla right now, towards the bottom, you got plenty of support that's holding here. Hopefully that continues to do so for them, and they can get a nice move up. But right now, high of the pre-market 234.96, and the low of the pre-market 227.19, which is again just slightly above the previous day close. So we'll mark that there, 227.19. just to have it in place. And then we're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. We got this level here from the daily. But before we get there is an area right over here, 240, maybe 241, 240.94. Look at the support. You also got this day opening, closing right around that area after a nice bounce here. So I think it's worth noting. Again, we might get some action there if we do decide to push higher. Right now, great volume, 4 million shares traded. Pre-market activity is looking very active, up 3%. Is the selling done on Tesla? I mean, where is the bottom? So we'll find out. We'll be here for it, that's for sure. Let's take a look at Nvidia, another one that has been trading very, very well. 6.7 million shares traded. When I say well, I'm not talking about up or down. I'm talking about just overall intraday action, right? Especially after an hour or two into the market, we've been getting these great reversals. Nvidia was one of them yesterday. Today, their pre-market action looks very clean. Again, when we say clean, we're talking about it looks like the market is open, it's trending, and that's usually really nice there. So I have the pre-market 117.40 towards the bottom, the low of the pre-market below the previous day close at 114.89. So started the day somewhat red, and recovering here up almost 2% if we keep going here. Towards the bottom, we do have an area here, great level 113, and then another great area at 110.67. So that's a good area there to have some levels. Since I got some time, let's take a look. Let's take a look at BABA. I'm gonna do some lows for BABA. I might end up moving BABA up here this morning. They do got a little bit of volume, and I got the space to watch them today. 144.77 is a good level there, and then you're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Key here is we have to wait for the volume to come in. The last time we were looking at this closely, volume didn't come in, so it was not really tradable. The price action looked very weird. We got to wait for the volume to come in on this one. I'll do one more. It's SMCI because I know a lot of people like this one and a lot of people might be watching it. So I want to do this one just to get you guys ready. As our moderators got their list ready to go, the Peter's going to go run through that in just a second here. The pre-market action doesn't look great to me. I know some people mentioned it's moving up, but it was just this one candle. I don't see the continuation or momentum on this one, so we'll see how it goes. Again, they sometimes get a good volume, but I'm not seeing it today, so it's gonna still stay on my secondary list, but we'll get some levels just to be ready. If you look here, high of the pre-market 39.18, 38.12, and also towards the bottom we do have a great level at 36, around 36.57. It's a good area. So there it is. Those are some of the things I'm watching, but again, only Tesla and Nvidia and BABA really on my main list. We'll see how it goes, and let's take a look on how what our team is watching, and maybe I can get some ideas from them as well. So Peter, what we got going on there?
Indeed, our moderators are getting their lists in, and they're starting as you would expect with Avi watching the Magnificent Seven and AMD, I'm sure. So there you go, his usual watch list. Mike is going to be watching Nvidia and Tesla. Thor is going to be watching Apple, AMD, and Google. Nathan is watching the Magnificent Seven and AMD. Megan also watching just Nvidia and Tesla. So a lot of focus on these two. Pretty much everybody has those two on their list. Brendan's got those two, and Intel. Brian has got those two, AMD and the SPY overall. Few of our moderators are saying they really don't love a lot yet, so they're waiting, and I can't blame them. Don't forget, everybody, 2 o'clock today, we've got that interest rate decision announcement, and that is going to be pivotal in the market. You could expect volumes to be a little lower this morning. Usually people don't want to sort of, make big bets or place big positions in advance of a rate announcement. While it's 99% expected that the rate is going to be unchanged, you don't want to play that risk, right? So there's probably going to be lowered volume this morning at the open, which means we might see a little more choppy action. Again, you never know, right? We could get some great moves, but just be ready for that in case it happens. I'm going to be watching the two that we already talked about in Tesla and Nvidia. I'm also going to keep an eye on Google, RGTI, and Bubba just to see if they get some moves. Eamon's watching for potential longs on Marvell, MRVL, and Amazon. I've got one IPO to let you know about potentially today, if and when it opens. And Paris is going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, Boeing, Intel, and PLTR. So there you go. That's what our mods are keeping an eye on for today. You can probably pick something good off of that list, or pick your own. Use the scanners that are free in Trading Terminal, and you can find stuff that's moving. Look at the gap up, gap down list, or the high of day breakouts, or the turbo scanners, or whatever you want. I'm sure you'll find something good. Or even better yet, join a chat room, such as bearabletraders.com. There you go. There's my promo stuff for the morning. And you can join a community and have them help you find things, right? Because we got thousands of eyes looking at stuff and pointing out what's moving and what's not. So,
Yeah.
all right, Carlos,
Absolutely.
that was my alarm telling me we've got 5 minutes to the market open. So a little bit of time to get set, pick your targets, figure out what we're going to do when that opening bell rings.
Absolutely. Friends, over on YouTube, me and Peter are going to continue here. I don't see Brian, if you want to connect to the chat room, Brian, if you connect there, I'll disconnect and we'll let you rock and roll with the team there. So Brian will be trading live in our chat room with no delay, guys. So you can see exactly what's happening and get ideas on what he's looking to take. And we'll continue here in chat. So I'm going to disconnect because Brian might be waiting for me to disconnect before he jumps on. So I'll just do that and we'll continue here. There he is. Screen is coming on. We'll continue over here in our YouTube chat. All right, friends, and I see Andrew also, his camera's coming on. We'll let you guys know what those guys are doing and what they're taking. Where's Andrew? Man, what was
Look
that?
at Andrew. He's in the new. Is that the new office?
I don't know.
Exciting. Maybe.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in a boardroom. He's got a Bearables poster behind him.
Yeah.
Wow, fancy.
That means he was up early, man. It's dark outside. Yeah. We'll give you a quick look, guys, on what this looks like here. How can I get this to not look?
Can I just say, Andrew can't hear us, right? Because he's in the chat room and we're over here. Are you
can
able
talk
to
about
put
him all you want? I won't tell him.
Yeah, good. Are you able to put a picture of Andrew on the screen there? Like this live video feed? Yeah, there you go. You notice Andrew's colored his hair. Have you noticed that?
No,
he's less gray than he was. Well,
how you notice this thing, man? This is why.
You know what?
Get in trouble with my wife.
I used to color my hair all the time because like I was in denial for a while, and then it got to a point where I realized there was more gray than dark, and I needed to color. And I'm like, who am I kidding? So, anyways, I just went with it. Now it's all white.
Yeah. I am fully enjoying my gray hairs, man. All the way.
Yeah, it means you made it this far, man, and you're still kicking and can tell the tales. So
yeah, absolutely. But he looks good. Looks like he's been awake for a while there, so good for him. All right, friends, let's focus in and let's see what we got going on here. Less than 3 minutes to the market open. My list, I'm not loving a lot here, Peter, and I'm sure you probably feel the same way.
No.
I have Nvidia and Tesla, so that means for me, we're going to bring it in, Hassan, give me a second. We're going to take it very easy, very, very easy. Peter, I'm going to move you, make some changes here to bring you in.
Oh,
to the screen. Oh yeah, I'm going to move you. Yep. Going to move you into this setup here. So give me 1 second.
Carlos, you move me every morning. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. Let's get a thumbs up for Peter and his sweetness over here. Let's do that. Let's see here. Peter, we'll bring you in on the screen.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that I love. Nvidia's, looking okay. We'll have to see what happens to it at the open. I see right now, like Tesla's really just sort of moving sideways. It is not looking that good. Remember we talked about before, guys, the 8 a.m. so-called tinfoil line. If you mark the highs and lows, that right now that tinfoil line, especially on Tesla, it's bracketing the price quite nicely, both top and bottom. So that sets a range that I'll be interested to see what it does with at the open. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see if we can break through that. Oh, you can hear my alarm. So we have less than a minute until the market open.
All right, friends.
Apple popped up here. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a very quiet open for me. Likely no trades. We'll see what happens. Don't forget, guys, the only news for today, the news article I just mentioned a few minutes ago, is the 2 o'clock Fed rate announcement. So analyst expectations, if you look at a consensus, is 99% that there'll be no change to the Fed interest rate. Only 1% think there'll be a quarter-point drop. But I do think the markets are going to be a little sluggish, more than usual, heading into that rate announcement, because again, if you've got tens or hundreds of millions to invest, you're not going to risk throwing it into the market right ahead of that in case something unexpected occurs. So let's see, we're about to open here in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Yep. There it
There's
is.
our opening bell.
Let's see where the action is. All right, Tesla getting a little early drop here. Nvidia is going the other way.
Right
And
down
notice
to
our
the low
moderators
end.
list. Yeah, our moderators list, Peter, very, very light today as well. So it kind of tells you what kind of day it is. It's setting it up to, be
Yeah.
patient. There's not a lot that looks great right now. So let's see how things go here. See, Andrew's also taking a look at Nvidia on his end. Oh, look at the breakout. Nice.
You know, we since I was talking about it, we touched the low end of that tinfoil line, and
On which one?
Tesla.
Tesla.
Yeah, the first spike there went right down to it. I want to see if we get a pop by. I'm hoping the market is sort of going up. I'm hoping that Tesla will follow and get a pop. I took a couple of shares long just to see if we can get a pop up. There you go. There's a little bit of pop. I'll take a small
Nice.
partial here. There we go. Tiny little open trade. Look at me trading the open again.
Look at you, man. Awesome. It's going for you here. You're still in it. It's going nicely, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this thing can reverse at any moment, so
Yeah.
I won't count those chickens yet. But
I think it's
Nvidia,
Wednesday.
no
I think it's Wednesday, so I think we're doing a lats up as well. So
oh yeah, it is
but
Wednesday.
it is Wednesday. But these likes are they're not laptop. They're more like a gift card. So we'll give a gift card away. That's what we should do. Depending on how many likes we get, what we give away. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be
That'll be
like a
fun, yeah.
scaled system.
A scale system, right?
So
Yeah.
how many?
All right, here we go. Tesla doing some stuff.
Come on, Tesla. I want over 233.
Yeah.
Okay, there
Oh,
you
you're gonna
go.
get that.
There you
There it
go. Now
is.
taking
Mhm.
another partial. Look at that. Asking ye shall receive.
Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Andrew did get in on TSLA around 791, so he's got a good entry, man. That's going to be a great trade. He's above 8 right now. Let's see. This continue. Looking around at what else is in play today. INTC dropping down. SMCI, which some of you guys had as well. Trying to get going here, so we'll see. Man, it's funny. The two that we had are the two that are the most active right now: Tesla and Nvidia. And you took Tesla already. Had a great move
look
on
at
this
us.
one.
See,
And
we got the call right.
yeah, we did. We
Yourself.
sure did. At least on what to watch. Absolutely. If we get 500 likes, can we give away a Lambo? We don't want to put you through that, man. We don't want to give you a Lambo and for you to have to deal with the payments and the and
Yeah.
not even the payments, the
You gotta-
maintenance. We love you
Yeah.
enough not to do that to you. That's like somebody saying, "Hey, I'll give you a private jet," and then when you get the monthly bill, you're like, "What just happened?" Right?
Yeah,
you don't
all
want
the
that.
maintenance fees and everything. Yeah, you don't want that. That being said, I mean, get a real car. Get a Porsche.
Oh boy, here we go. Peter and his Porsches.
Well, you brought up cars again, so I got to go there.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I've been a proud Porsche owner for like over a decade now, and it's been the
Nice.
same car. My car is now over 20 years old, and it is
And it
fantastic.
looks good,
It's a
man.
daily driver. It's a
Yeah, and it
20-year-old
looks
daily
good.
driver.
Yeah.
It's great. I drive to the store. I go to groceries. Like, come on, you can't use a Lambo as a commuter car as effectively. I don't believe so. Anyways, it's a great car. I love it.
Yeah, I might disagree with that. I think I could use a Lambo to go everywhere too, but I'm with you.
You think?
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't think it would last. It wouldn't be as durable. It's not. Anyways,
Oh, that's
I
what
always
you're going
said,
to, yeah.
yeah, like the Porsche is like, I used to take it to the track. I said I could take it to the track and then go to work the next day in it, and it does it all. It never complained. Just gets
Yeah.
the job done. I'm still hanging out here in Tesla. Interesting, by the way, guys, if you believe or not in the tinfoil line, take a look at this opening candle. Look how it matches that 8 o'clock candle pretty closely. You know, I mean, again, it's always a range, but it's interesting to see how, yeah, the top and bottom of that wiki candle where it had the increased volume, this is exactly the range the Tesla's hit. So some days it works, some days it doesn't. Today seems to be a day where it's sort of paying attention to that. So that's why I entered near the bottom of the wick and I
Hmm.
partialed near the top, right? So, and if it can break through, then you know, great, that's awesome. If not, well, then I get stopped out. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, looking good so far.
I like Nvidia here for a short for a 5 minute opening range breakdown. So I'm gonna go short here. Really like the selling pressure on the 5 minute. So let's see if we can stay below the VWAP. I don't want to go above. We'll give us enough room. 1760. So actually we could do 1760. So I don't want to go above that. Let's see if we can see some weakness here. I really like this 5 minute candle. If we can continue to push lower and get a sell down. Membership. Eurus looks like a wrap for the Eurus. And today's been a car. The title should be car talk on our stream today. We definitely been on
Yeah,
the
we've
automobile
been
heavy
talking
side.
cars, so
Yeah.
fortunately, you haven't remembered to
Well,
pressure me about the other cars. Oops,
no,
I
no,
shouldn't
no.
say
I
anything.
haven't. Um, all right, friends. Short Nvidia, and you are long Tesla, Peter.
I am.
Uh,
Yeah,
yep.
I'm not sure that
So
I'll be long in it for long here, but at the moment
yeah,
I am.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Agreed, agreed.
It's coming back
Uh,
down here, which is, you know, what
well,
happens on
yeah.
open trades, right? They don't always last very
Yep.
long.
Yeah.
Well, it
Um,
looks like you're well positioned on that short on Nvidia, Carlos. So
yeah, I just hope we get some sell down, right? So I like the setup here. I love these moves when you go up like this, come back down below the VWAP, get the pullback. I wasn't watching it closely for the pullback entry here. This would have been the entry. So I'm a little bit late, but not by much. Not by much. Yeah, Andrew's typing. He had a great trade on TSLL, as I mentioned to you guys earlier. I mean, his screen's not coming up for me for some reason. I'm trying to bring it up, and it's not showing. How come? Oh, there it is. I got it now. Okay. So yeah, so he took it long above the VF for that's a 1 minute opening range crack. I can show you guys in a second here. Um, took some partials at 802 above the previous day, and then now he's all out on it. So great trade on that one, for Andrew. Apple going opposite direction. I'll take a look on Apple.
yeah, Apple is moving higher.
Yeah, very.
Baba is dropping. All red candles here on Baba this morning so far.
Yeah, Apple's pre-market was very weird today. Is that right? Does your chart looks like this,
Yeah.
or do I need to reset? Is that correct? How
Um,
low the
yeah.
volume is here? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Very low volume. Yep. That's what I see too.
Huh, that's interesting. All right.
Oh, what happened to my camera? Sorry about that. One sec. Here I am.
Okay. There you go. All right. Let's see. So Nvidia is pushing higher. We might be going long on Nvidia. No, I'm saying we might be getting stopped out if it continues to do that. Spies.
Yeah. Got a
Let's
got a nice
see.
pop bang. I got saved here at the VWAP by on Tesla here.
Yeah.
So
Very
we'll
nice.
see if we can get the bounce. Come on. We need a bounce higher. Got to break out of this
Yep.
range.
You're going for the high of the day. That's looking pretty neat here on Nvidia. I'm sorry, on Tesla. Nvidia's still holding here nicely. Key here will be to stay below the VWAP if we can. Um, that would be nice if we can do that. What's my stop loss on Nvidia? I don't want to go above like this area, 117.50, right? So I usually don't put the VWAP just because you're gonna get stopped out. It's gonna come back and retest it anyways. And Nvidia and Tesla are two tickers. You have to give enough room. Like it'll take you longer to get to your profit goal, but you have to give it enough room, or else you're going to get stopped out. It just moves so much,
Yeah.
right? So yeah. So I gave it what 60 cents here. So you just have to give it enough room. Actually, more than that's about 80. It's about 80 cents. So we'll see. We see this setup a lot here, and I take this setup a bunch. When it goes up, comes below the VWAP, and again, you wait for the pullback and you get it short for the 5-minute breakdown. And I really like the selling pressure we got on this candle. So we went up to 118, guys, and slammed back down. So it's a lot of selling pressure there on that first initial candle. Let's see if that can continue. I want to see the drop I saw yesterday. If we can get that, that would be super awesome. Let's see what the market gives us. Let's take a look at, oh, Baba, look at that. That is really clean drop. But you know
all
what
the way
the
down
problem
to
is?
yesterday's close.
Yeah, I find the volume to be an issue though, Peter. You just don't get the volume on it, so I find it difficult to trade.
Baba's an interesting one. You do have to pay attention to the volume. You have to remember that this is, while it's a Chinese tech stock, it trades on the New York Stock Exchange, which means you got to wait for the volume to come in. And look at it this morning, especially you look at a 1-minute chart. You can see, right, when it really started to move. I mean, yes, it was dropping, but look how small the volume was until 9:36, when suddenly that volume popped up on Baba. So I always
Yeah,
find you got to
yeah.
be careful when you're in those low volume situations. So Nvidia looks like it's coming back on you a little bit. What? No, wait a second.
No, I'm short.
Get in.
I'm short.
I know you're short. Oh. Okay.
I'm short on this one.
Come on,
All right,
Nvidia.
see
Oh,
if
I
we
know why.
can
I've got a
get.
delay here. That's
You
why.
do? What?
Yeah. No, it's
What do you
okay.
mean?
It's on. It just I had to update, refresh the
User
YouTube.
error? Oh yeah, if
Yeah,
you're looking at YouTube,
it
yeah.
lags behind if I don't keep hitting the live button. So
You know, Peter, what
that is
happens too on my YouTube? There's a if you hit settings, just make sure you're on one rate. Sometimes my rate stays custom, and I can't change it. And the custom is slightly slower than the one rate, so you guys will end up falling behind. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit live and that you hit the 1x, because mine, for some reason, every time I load it, in a couple of minutes, I'm really behind. And it's because the setting goes to customs. It doesn't do the one rate. I don't know why it does that. I got to
mine's
figure
on
that out.
custom, but it's at the 1x. I didn't even think about that, but okay.
Yeah, just make sure you don't fall behind.
All right.
Yeah. All right, we're taking a partial here around 116. We're dropping below the previous. I'm sorry. We got a daily. It's a daily level we picked off here. This is a daily level we have 115. That level goes back to just above. Wait. No, actually, that's the low of the pre-market. Excuse me, low of the pre-market. Very early on, we had the low of the pre-market
Yes.
there. So we're bouncing off of that right now.
Tinfoil line.
Tinfoil
now.
line. Yes, yes. All right, let me get the 1 minute back here. All right, I'm gonna take another partials because I don't trust Nvidia to stay here long. This stock can move so fast and so aggressive. So I will have wanted to wait for another flush down, or another leg down, but you just can't. You can't be too patient with Nvidia. It'll definitely prove you wrong here. What setup on Nvidia can you take short? Oh, what's the setup I took short? A 5-minute RB breakdown. So let me get to the 5-minute chart here. 5-minute. And as we're doing this, let me switch up. I got to change these hotkeys a little bit to make it easier to switch back and forth. So here, 5-minute opening range breakdowns. My favorite #1 strategy, man. I love it. And this is a great setup because if you see the candle, the pressure selling down, and not just the candle itself, also you got to look at the 1 minute and see how this candle forms. Like you got the 5-minute looking great. Now you kind of look into the guts, look at the 1 minute and see the move up, the drop below the VWAP, and then the confirmation candle here. This is the one you get in. I don't jump in on this one because you can always get a pushback. But this confirmation candle is the one I like to jump in on, showing some weakness. So this is the breakthrough candle, and then the confirmation candle is nice. So right to the low of the pre-market on Nvidia, and if we stay here long enough, I'm going to take another partial as well because I don't want to come back up. We got a really good move here. I don't want to bring a lot of shares up to my break even. So another partial on Nvidia, and we'll get out around break even. Let's see if we can set a trend to head lower. I gave this a lot of room, man. I gave this above 117.40, 117.50. So we gave it enough room because if you put the VWAP, which I normally do for other stocks, slightly above it, you know, with Nvidia and Tesla, you're going to get stopped out, and that's the problem. So my stop now is at break even at this point.
Nice, Carlos. Good.
Thanks, man. You had a good pop too, man. You got one early, a couple of partials.
Yeah.
And
I've been stopped out now of the rest of Tesla because it came right back down and tested my entry, which is just above 231. So that's okay. Like I said, I don't expect these open trades necessarily to last. It's great when they do, but that's bonus money. So got a little pop and I got stopped out. So it was all good.
Awesome,
my bigger
man.
setups are later in the morning, so we'll see what happens when we get there.
Yep, absolutely. Callie, I took Andrew's size on this one, so I'm kidding.
Andrew size?
So no, Callie,
40,000 shares?
40,000 shares. Like, what? Oh, man. When I see Andrew take his trades, see, notice the difference. When Andrew trades, this will be like 15 triangles. Mine says 1, right? So that means it's a nice number. 1,000 shares, 500 shares, 250 shares. It's not 30,000. It needs to be spread around all kinds of price action. Oh, man.
You know, I keep coming back to when I started trading with Andrew. There's somewhere out there. There's a video we were doing live YouTube in 2017, and he made a statement that said he was making $750 a day, and he went on this big rant about how nobody needs to make more than $750 a day, even in Vancouver where things were expensive. You can still live on $750 a day.
You still got that video?
Well, it's somewhere. It's somewhere out there.
We need to find
anyway,
that.
Which is because now he thinks Vancouver's cheap because he's used to hanging out in places like Dubai, right? So now Vancouver feels cheap to him. I love it. I love that change of perspective. You ask Andrew, he's like, I haven't changed. Dude, you've changed. I mean, you can't help it. Money gives you a different perspective on the world, right? He's able to do things he couldn't do before. You know, it was the one statement that he then made several months, maybe it was about a year later or something, when he was like, you know, money hasn't changed me, but guys, I got to go early. The helicopter is waiting for me. And we're like, the what? He's like, I'm going hiking with some friends. So he lives in Vancouver, right? I'm going hiking with some friends up near Whistler, and I just didn't have time to drive there. So I called a helicopter service to come and pick me up. Come on, dude.
Go, man.
I mean, I love it. I love it. I'm telling you. It's
oh, man.
And it's good that Andrew still stayed a good guy despite all the money in that, because it's it's tough. You know, your world perspectives change when suddenly you have money to spend in it. So.
Absolutely. Nicholas, you brought out Hood here. So yeah, Hood taking off right now. So you can see going from 40.80 all the way to 41.39. It's $1 plus move there. So yeah, really good at the moment. 1 minute looks great. Like the 1 minute really got a nice little move here. I see the
pop on Hood here. Hood would have been. I'm just looking at Hood. No signals for me necessarily to have taken that. I mean, yes, a little bit of a pop here, but I'll be honest, nothing that I would have ever been able to trade. So if you got into it, good for you.
That's one thing that I got him very good at, Peter. Like being able to look at a dead chart and say, yeah, I would have joined that, or no, I wouldn't have joined that. I don't see how I would have entered this trade, right? This move on Tesla, for example, on Nvidia, I could see this move set up and I say, yep, I would have taken that trade. But like, for example, if you look at Hood, there's no reason because I just don't got a strategy there. I'm all out, by the way, on Nvidia. I think could be some more downside to this if we get trending lower, but it pulled back so much almost to my break-even point and I don't have that many shares to make it worth, holding on to it and going red on it. So it doesn't make any sense. So all out on Nvidia. But it still looks weak, man. Like this candle now looks weak. Go ahead, Peter.
I was just going to say, I think that's a great point that you make, Carlos, and one that's worth talking about. Because often we talk about the results of trading, but there's a lot of hard work that goes in behind understanding, what is your trading style? How do you manage your trading? And how do you really understand how to assess the markets and find the right trading opportunities? And like you said, you
Yeah.
called it a dead chart, but it's easy to look at charts in hindsight and look at a fully formed chart and say, oh my God, if I just gone long here and exited here, or gone short here and covered over here, I could have made a ton of money.
Right.
It's because it's so easy because what the outcome is. When it's 100% certain, it's so easy to just pinpoint your entry right at the bottom of a move and your exit right at the top and say, look, I would have made $1 trillion. It's a lot harder live, of course, because you don't know what the stock is
Yeah.
going to do. Looking at the hood chart you've got here, that's not necessarily a certain move. Yes, it looks obvious now, but that could have just as easily bounced around VWAP or dropped back down to the low of day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the point I guess I'm looking to make out of this is that it's good when you get to the point where, like you said, Carlos, you can look at a dead chart or a fully formed chart and say, would it have given me the signals that I have confidence in that would have allowed me to take the trade? Because that really allows you to sort of settle into your psychology and to your trade assessment and not kid yourself about what you could have done and what your trading results would have looked like, right? Because there's a certain point where you have to say, yeah, look, it's a great move. I still wouldn't have been in it. Even if I'd been watching it every second, focused solely on it, I can say by looking at hood, I never would have been in that. But
Yeah.
that's because
Yeah.
my trade strategy and my way of perceiving the market would not yield me that opportunity. That being said, I can look at my mountain pass trades on a chart, and I know 100 times out of
Yeah.
100, right? That's a trade I will take when it's got a good setup if I'm watching it. So it's good to learn yourself that way, and it gives you a little bit of calmness, because I can now look at hood and not say, God, if only I'd taken it, oh, I could have made money. I can look at it and say, great move, congrats if you got it, but it doesn't affect me, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
offset me
Yeah.
for evaluating the next trade opportunity.
Exactly. Exactly. Excellent point, man. Excellent point. Friends, today is Wednesday, so we're gonna give a laptop away, I believe, when Andrew comes on later on at 10:30. He'll do some Q&A and stuff like that. So let's be ready for him when he comes on. Let's just have like 600 likes. So all he has to do is just run his
There you
little
go.
wheel
Yeah.
and give it away, right? So he's got like this little wheel thing that he just does and just does magic and all that good
Well,
stuff.
tell you what, let's up the ante, guys. If we can get to if you guys can push it all the way up, we've got 984 watching now, and plus the people that probably were here earlier. If we can pump it to 1,000 likes, Carlos and I will put the full court press on them to give away two laptops
Ooh,
to
I
double
like
the
that.
prize.
I like
Again,
that.
I can't guarantee it, but we will put it. We'll give our all.
Yeah, we'll
So
we'll put our effort in.
you
That's for
bet.
sure.
That's our promise to you. So
That's for sure. And if you're in the area, if you want to get, I don't know if there's tickets left. We got people tickets to go
yeah, do we still have tickets? I don't even
to
know
the
if we have
event.
tickets left to that.
No, we could sneak
Maybe.
somebody in through the back door. That's fine. We'll
Yeah,
figure
I'm
it
sure
out.
Andrew's
Yeah, I'm
got.
sure.
He must have
Yeah,
some VIP. He's got VIP powers, of
yeah.
course. It's his
I think I got a
event.
+1. I'll take a +1. Then I got a +1. He's not staying in my room, but you can come, yeah, I'll +1 you or something. We'll figure it out.
You can't stay in my room. Now that would be quite an offer, but yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's see. Tesla dropping. Yeah, lost the VWAP here, guys. Went down. Nvidia. Oh, I'm so glad I got out. This is why I love getting out of break even after you take some partials out. Because this would have pissed me off. Like to be here and right now giving money back that I already made, that would piss me off. So I'd rather be out here, and even if it drops to like 0, my psychology will be perfectly fine, right? But this here, this is not going to be okay with me. So you start learning these little things that what you're okay with, what you're not okay with, and it just
Yep.
helps you make better decisions. But this right here, I will not be okay at the moment, right? And then it triggers other things, right? Then you start getting out here, then you start going long because you have FOMO. And, okay, it's going to go up, so I'm going to make money on the way up to make my money back. It's just like a trickle down effect. It's like a domino effect. And I know what some of those triggers are now after a couple of years of trading, and I avoid them completely, man. I avoid them as like a plague. So got to be careful.
We got the Apple. Apple's really moving higher here. The markets are as well. So a little bit of push.
Yeah, man, we are. Every time I look at up Apple's chart, it looks so weird to me. Like the pre-market. Like I don't remember ever seeing a 5 minute look so dead like this. But maybe I
No?
just haven't been
Oh
looking
yeah,
enough at Apple.
Apple
Yeah, it's
does
just
that occasionally.
Tesla and Nvidia are ruining me, man. With their active pre-market action every
Well,
single morning.
and remember what I said about the expectations of volumes being lower because of the Fed rate announcement. So if I look at
Yeah,
those volumes, right? I mean, Apple's volume, so the R vol, if you guys use the relative volume, shows you the volume at this point of time. So at this point of the day compared to previous days, it's only Apple's only at 71, 72% of R vol. Amazon
yeah.
56%. Google 47%. So you can see volumes are off significantly compared to the average for this time of day in a lot of offerings. Um, the only one that's over is Tesla, which is 116, and well, even Nvidia is only at 83% of its average volume. So volumes are a little lower, as I expected, and
Yeah.
that tells me big money's being a little cautious this morning.
Yeah. Apple is having a great move, guys. Up 2% right now. I mean, this is in a very clean and steady, just upwards move here is really, really nice. And here, as many things are going northeast, Tesla finds a way to sell off. I mean, this stock is just struggling here. So not taking advantage of this SPY move. And it's so funny because, as you know, Tesla's a very, it's very, it'll be interesting today on what the interest rate does, right? Because they're very heavily on interest rate related. I mean, they got a lot more issues now, but it'll be interesting to see if things go positive, if they get a boost. But man, not looking fun right now. See Reddick being mentioned in chat. This is the ticker. It's like the IPO of the century. Wow, it's giving a lot back. I haven't noticed how much Reddick has dropped over the last month or
Mm-hmm.
so. Because I remember these guys took off here 200, now back to 110. Oh man. Um, Yeah, it's interesting on the daily. I did not know they were down this much. I thought they were still above 200 here. And if we look at our 1 minute, let's see our 1 minute here. Yeah, beautiful reversal. But see, it's a great ticker. I'm glad you brought this one up. There's no volume here. Like, how will you trade this? Like, level two is not moving. Let me bring up the level two over here. This is a great example of a stock that, yes, you're getting something, but there's just nothing happening, right? So this is very difficult for momentum traders to trade. Like even if it sets up nicely, there's no way I can trade this one. So yeah, so no opportunity for me here as far as the way I trade, right? So I won't be watching that one. All right. Let's see how are we doing with the likes. Let's take a look at our. Peter, do
How
you do
are we
this as
doing?
well? Did you forget to hit the like button as well? I do forget
No,
to do
I've hit
that.
it.
Oh, you did it.
I,
Oh man, I'm
I,
not being a
I'm
good
pretty
host.
good
All right,
about hitting that regularly, so I
I'm
do
not
it
being a good
myself.
host. I hit the like button, so 389.
I mean,
All
because
right,
I'm not liking me, I'm liking you, Carlos. That's why make sure to hit it every morning. So,
Peter's on a roll today. Peter woke up like, I'm gonna show love to everybody.
I'm
Love
all
it.
about flattery today.
Love it, love it. All right, friends. Delta moving up a little bit here. American Airlines. I'm waiting for this to get on the $10 to take it for a swing. Not happening right now. What else we have? United Airlines.
I'm watching
Um,
Hood. Hood is actually
yeah.
up a little bit this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting. It's on a move. And the other one that some of our members mentioned, Boeing. Boeing's not. It's up, but it's not up a lot. It's just up a little bit here this morning. But I thought
Yep.
I'd keep an eye on it to see if it does anything. Bubba, I've got a love-hate relationship with Boeing. Sorry, Boeing and I just don't trade it very well. So it's I find it very difficult
Yeah.
to understand what it's going to do. So anyways, but it's up marginally. Probably doesn't look like it's really in play. I'm also watching
Yeah. Yep.
Apple. I've mentioned that Apple made a good strong move. It looks like it's faltering now just a little bit, but largely, again, is it leading or following the SPY? I'm not sure, but
Mm-hmm.
it definitely looks very similar to it. So we'll see what we get here. Too early for a reversal for me at this point, but I'm watching it just so I can sort of understand what its price action looks and feels like so far this morning.
Yeah, it's funny, Peter. You mentioned too early for reversal, and I did that mistake yesterday with Nvidia or Tesla. I forget. Once I traded ticker, I forget which one it was. I have to look at my notes. But I did Nvidia and reversal way too early. It was like it's not even 10 yet, right? And I was reviewing my trades with the P Capital Group. I meet with them every Tuesday. If you guys interested in bootcamp, you can look at pcapitaltraining.com. And as I'm reviewing my trades with them, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's too early. Like I'm kind of assessing my trade and kind of showing them and finding my off faults. Like, yeah, what am I doing here? This reversal is way too early. There's no need to be going into this trade. So the time frame really, really matters. So the mountain pass, what time do you usually trade that mountain pass, Peter? What's like your peak time?
Yeah, no, 10:30 to 2:30. So it's really sort of midday. It'll never, for me, it never sets up before about 10:15. That would be the earliest I would take it.
Yeah.
Because you need to get that open sort of activity out of the way, and only once that happens can you really sort of start to take advantage of the longer term directional trend moves. So at least that's my opinion. That's how I view it. So.
Okay, nice. So yeah, I took this trade like at 9:45. I'm like, doesn't make any sense here. But went back, reviewed it, and noticed, okay, don't do that again. Just learn from it. So no matter how long you trade, you still make mistakes, but they become less and less as you get more experience. Look at Nvidia setting up pretty nice above the VWAP here. I don't know if I want to take it long, but what would be the strategy? Not sure.
What would be the strategy?
Could be the break of the 5-minute ORB on the top side, but that's questionable. Break of the high of the pre-market again. You got that level there, 117.40. ABCD pattern. Yes, there's an ABCD pattern here within the 1 minute, especially. You got some ABCD pattern. The retest is nice, right? So you had to break out above the VWAP. For those that don't know, this dark blue line, hopefully that looks good on YouTube. It's our VWAP line that a lot of us use. Retest, and now let's see if the buyers are gonna step up and push this higher. High of days a little higher. High of days all the way up there at 118.15. So. But high of the pre-market is a good one. You can use the high of the pre-market because that's right there, 117.40. So we could do that. We use Interactive Brokers. Peter, you use Interactive Brokers, the Canadian branch, correct?
I do, yeah.
Yep. So Interactive Brokers is what we use. Really good. But Paris keeps talking about Schwab. I do have Schwab, by the way, as well for my long-term stuff. And he's day trading with Schwab. And there's no commissions with that. So I'm like, commission's not a thing I think about, but if you could reduce your operational costs, why not? So he keeps saying how great the fills are. I gotta see.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that because I wouldn't have expected it either. But he seems to, it's working well for him.
Yeah. So. Andrew says, is it possible to bring back Brian and YouTube because you happy guys don't trade a lot? See ya. Like, it's funny. Like, somebody would probably get offended by that. I don't, man. I'm such a happy guy, man. You could probably crash into me. I'm like, are you okay? It's what it is. Like, you gotta go through life happy.
You're always looking at the bright
trust
side.
Me, absolutely. And I'm not on mushrooms or anything of that crap. I'm just happy all the time. And people are just bitter, man. I don't understand. Don't waste your time.
You know what? I say that too. I'm sort of, I do this because I love it. I'm semi-retired.
Right.
I said, my life is really no stress. Like, I've learned stress will kill you. So you got to eliminate stress. And a lot of eliminating stress, frankly, is just attitude. And
100%. 100%. And trading has really taught me that, man, because at first I would get pissed when I will lose. It will affect my weekends. It's mentally, you learn a lot about yourself when trading, especially losing money, not doing well, and trying so hard and getting the same results. Like, it's tough. And you realize that there's no need for that. And as you get older too, like I'm 40 now, right? So as you get older, you start to realize what's really important is your family, it's your kids, it's your health. None of this other crap matters, right? So
Yeah.
just be mindful of that and just being happy. And the reason why, and I get it, right? Brian and Andrew trade a bunch, and me and Peter don't. And Peter's not even an opening range trader. He's here hanging out with us, so thank you, Peter. But I don't trade a lot. When I was trading 13 trades a day, I was losing money. When I started trading 1, 2 trades per day, I was making money. So, that I had to learn. That I had to learn how to stop trading. Don't take quality trades. So, I'm sitting good right now. Why would I risk more money, right? It might not be exciting for you, but yeah, it's just you can't be just trading like crazy. I'm just not the type of trader.
And that's unless you're a scalper. Andrew is sort of on the edge, sort of a scalp type trader.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, that usually that's what happens. Most traders end up taking fewer trades as they progress in their trading journey because you become more selective, right? You know
right,
what you're looking
right.
for better. You're not afraid to sit and wait for that opportunity because a lot of things sort of coalesce usually in your trading psychology. Like you said, Carlos, you're not as stressed about things, but also like any trade you see is 100% guaranteed not to be your last opportunity. There will be another trade. It might
Yeah,
not be
yeah.
today, right? It might be tomorrow or the day after. But if you're here for the long haul, you're like, you know what? Like I'm going to be here tomorrow. So if that's when my next trade opportunity is, so be it. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. And
Yep.
and that's a very different psychology than saying, geez, like I got to get this trade because I got to be green today, or I've got to pay the rent, or whatever is on your mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Those aren't the right motivations for trading. But it's really hard to overcome that. It really is because hey, I'm not a trader if I'm not trading, right? Like that's a
That
reasonable
mentality
thing to
kicks
think,
in. Yeah, yeah.
right? But I would say for anybody that's thinking that, you are a trader if you're just sitting watching stocks. You're learning, you're absorbing, you're getting familiar with yourself and the market movements. It's all educational value as long as you're actually paying attention to the markets and seeing what's happening. Then you don't have to be pushing the buttons to be a trader. Like again, I love the sniper analogy. It's a great analogy. Or if you prefer a nature based one, the alligator in the watering hole, right? And as an alligator, you don't go snapping at every animal when it gets close because then they run away and you never catch anything and you go hungry. You need to wait for exactly the right opportunity and then you strike. And same thing, if you think of the sniper analogy, they don't just shoot at every opportunity. You wait for the right opportunity and then you take your one shot. You got to sort of think like that as a trader. Where's my one right opportunity? And don't be afraid to wait for it. And sometimes if that means you miss it altogether, okay, we set up and we try again another time.
Yeah, yep,
So
absolutely.
sounds very zen, but it's sort of where you get to, I think, for most traders at some point in your journey.
Yeah, yep, 100%. Guys, Nvidia breaking out. It did break out from the pre-market high there. Now it's going towards that high of the day. This stock looking strong here. I thought about getting in here, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. I didn't trust it. I don't trade pre-market high too much. Um, so I avoided it. And again, I'm sitting good right now, so I don't want to risk my green day if I don't have to or give anything back. So I'm gonna be very sure. If I take another trade, it's gotta be a very good quality trade. As Apple continues to push higher, this is good. This is good for the market. This is good to see some green in the screen for once.
Yeah.
Uh oh, see, I'm Andrew did take that trade on NVDL, exactly where we kind of spoke about it. So he is on the breakout there. Again, great setup right off the pre-market highs. He's in on that one as well. So yeah, so he's in right now. He added some more. He's added just right now. Added some more. So we'll see how Nvidia does. But Nvidia looking pretty good right now. Baba turning back. RGTI didn't really give us much intel, pushing a lot of volume around. But again, just I don't see any setup here in this 5 minute or the 1 minute.
Nvidia back at high of day. Look at that.
Yeah, Nvidia is rocking.
Bunch of orders sitting at
Yeah.
118. So if it can break that 118, break through that again, it's got about 200,000 shares there that it can take out. So that's
Uh,
somebody signaling they want to push through. Sorry, go ahead, Carlos.
No, just answering some questions. Yeah, if you guys have questions for me or Peter, throw them on the chat. We'll answer. So my DAS, what is my DAS? Is my DAS setup available? I basically took Andrew's setup, right? I might have changed where the screens are and resized them to fit my monitor, but the example we have on the website for Andrew is the one that I'm using. I can send it to you, man. If you want to download it, just send me an email, carlos@bearwithtrades.com. I don't mind sending you my template, so you can download it and have it. So
the only thing I'll say for anybody out there, DAS is a wonderful tool. I love using it, but it's very it's old school in some ways in which it's designed, and it's very particular. So
very quirky.
Just keep in mind, if you get Carlos's DAS setup, if your screen configuration is not the same as his, you may end up with some stuff that he's configured that is in a place where you don't have a screen. Like it'll be there, but you'll never be able to find it because you don't have a screen configured in that space and that part of space, and therefore you'll never find the window because it'll always open somewhere off your screens. So just keep that in mind. Especially if you have a multi-screen setup. Carlos, how many monitors do you use?
Just 3 27-inch monitors.
3.
Just
okay.
3. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm running 6 here, and I find that when I send people my setup, they're like, I can't see half your stuff. And it's
goodness.
like, well, that's you're probably not running 6 monitors, and if you are, they're probably not configured the same way mine are. Right? You guys here, I can even show you.
Show us your 6 monitors. My goodness, I can't talk crap because I did have 6 monitors too. There it is.
I got it. Oh, there you go. So here you guys can see yourself. Look at that. You get like the mirror effect.
Yeah. What size are those, Peter?
Monitors. Those are 27 inches. 27-inch monitors. So real cheap monitors. They're all under $200. They're completely interchangeable. I've got 2 extra ones that sit in the basement, just in case I need to swap them out. But there you go. See, so that's what I'm looking at while you guys are looking at me. So it's,
absolutely
gives me everything I need to see and more.
Let's see what else we got going on. All right, Nvidia pushing higher and just looking
Amber,
really good on Nvidia.
Yeah, Amber, yes, it's only one computer. I went with an upgraded video card. I think I actually have 2 video cards in there. 2 AMD. I had to go with the AMD, but 2 AMD cards.
Very nice. When I went down from 6 monitors, as we look at Nvidia, Andrew's gonna have a heck of a day with this Nvidia trade because he went in, added more on the way up, and he's past his entry, even his last add. So he is it's gonna be a lobster night tonight for Andrew, because I see all the triangles. When you see all the triangles, it's big. Right. So I noticed, Peter, when I went down from 6 monitors to 3, oh my goodness, the amount of cables that disappeared from the back of I was like, I would never go back. It's just so many cables, right? It's 2 for each monitor.
That's true. I used to be a cabling guy, and I kept it all nice and neat. You guys want to see the downside of having 6 monitors? The problem is every time you change something, you have to, like you said, Carlos, you got to recable. So here, let me show you the secret sauce. You ready for this? Okay, here we go. We're going under the desk. Look at that nest, baby. That's just these are all the cables that run to all these monitors up here. So it's just a mess. And I used to try and keep it all neat and tidy, and then I realized
it's useless.
It's a fool's errand. So that's what the mess looks like. Above the desk, right? It looks all pretty. Below the desk, it's a mess. It's a mess. There you go. So there you go. That's what the reality looks like.
100%. You heard it here first. Oh man, I used to try to put the little tie downs and everything, and then once you had to change one cable, you had to take everything off. And I'm never doing that again. So.
Yeah. I see, James. I used to be an IT guy, and I used to keep it all neat and organized, and then I just gave up. Like it's so much work. It's so much work. I couldn't do it anymore. So I get it. every time I show people that, they're like, "Oh my God, how could you dare do that?" And I'm offended as an IT person, and I'm like, you know what, I get you. I look at it and I'm offended for myself, but I also am not willing to put the effort in anymore because it's too painful to fix anything. I mean, I just had my backup internet connection because I got two internet providers here running on dual boxes, and even yesterday we were rerunning cables, and I was happy that like it was so easy just to pull the cables in and out. It's a mess, but it works. So anyway.
100%. Um, all right, things are. I mean, I see Apple got really extended. Like if you look at this 5 minute, we are up nicely. So let's see for opportunities for reversals. My favorite reversal if I do trade one is like a double top, double bottom. So we'll have to wait for something like that to take place.
Thanks, James. That actually does mean something. If you're willing to forgive me, then I appreciate that. And actually, that blue cable you're seeing, it's not. That's the extension cable for my camera. My internet cable's actually yellow. So
Yeah, my mine is yellow too.
I
Yeah.
did I did color code those for my own use.
What are the times that you wish you knew when you started that you know now? What are some things, excuse me, you wish you knew when you
Good
started that you
question.
know now? Great
Good
question.
question.
Peter, I'll let you take
Uh,
it.
well, I already mentioned one, and the one again, you might know it intellectually. You have to know it in your heart. Like you have to actually believe it. Is that there will always be another trade, always, right? You're going to look at things and you're going to be terrified of missing it. You're going to get into bad trades because you think if I miss this move, I'm going to miss the move of the day. Or I've had 3 red trades. I need a green one, so I better take this one, or I might not have another opportunity. That will force you to make bad decisions. If you really, really know that there's always going to be another good trade, it gives you much more patience to wait for it. It keeps you out of bad situations, and it keeps your mind open for when the good one sets up, that you're not afraid to jump into it. So really know, I wish when I was first trading, I really believed that. I honestly don't know how you get to believe that other than through experience. So unfortunately, that's a lesson you might have to learn the hard way. The other thing I would say, if you're new at trading, and it relates to that point, but it's a more general point. This is not a technology endeavor. You think if you set up all, like we just talked about the 6 monitors, and we talked about the setup and DAS and all of that. Those are table stakes. Everybody can do that. Everybody gets it. Especially if you're an IT guy, you're thinking, I'm going to get myself a rockin' system with super high powered with good GPOs and a ton of monitors, and I'm going to get myself a good trading system, and I'm off to the races. That's the again, table stakes. It's the least important part of the game. You need to have it. It's like having shoes or a baseball bat or whatever, right, to get into a sport. But that's not going to make you a good player. It's your psychology. It's making sure that you understand yourself, how you're going to be able to manage the market, what you're going to do, being able to do the things you said you're going to do. So focus more time on improving your psychology and understanding yourself and how you react under stressful situations, under uncertainty, and when you're frustrated. If you can spend more time doing that, that will serve you better in the long run than the technology. You've watched Andrew, if you've been in the chat room for a while, you've watched Andrew trade. I at least have watched Andrew trade literally off of an overturned wastebasket in Yemen on a laptop with only one monitor and make $20,000 in 10 minutes, right? The technology is not what differentiated him in that trade. It was his ability to understand his trading and execute and do what he said he was going to do. So yeah, don't focus so much on the technology and hotkeys and all that stuff that you forget about your psychology. If there was 2 things I would tell you, those are the 2 things I wish and I believed earlier. You know, do that.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I harped a lot on IT stuff because I love tech stuff. I love trying new things. So I really spend looking at going back and looking at it, I'm like spend way too much time on this, man. Like clean my desk, organizing things, making sure everything is perfect. And guess what? It did it help my trading? No, not one bit. So I always tell people start what you have, build slowly. But yeah, the IT stuff is just it's not gonna make you any better here. Um, I'm looking at Tesla. Tesla also looking to break out, guys. Pushing higher here. Trying to go towards the high of the day, as you can see. Um, Tesla showing some strength this morning, up 3.5, Peter. We're not in the red on Tesla, so that's a good sign. Everybody loves a good new gadget. That's true. All right, here it is. Wow, man, Tesla was good. Same move as somewhat of Nvidia. This breakthrough above the VWAP, the retest a little bit on the 1 minute there. Buyers coming in and then pushing higher. So that was a great move. Even on the 5 minute, looks a lot more cleaner. You can see the breakout candle on the 5 minute, the pullback, and then finding support right at the VWAP and pushing higher. Yeah, all good on Tesla right now. Very nice. Let's see here. What do we like? Apple. Apple is probably. Oh, someone mentioned. No, we can't hear you, Peter. You know what Peter did? Peter disconnected one. He was making fun of his cables. He disconnected something.
Can you hear me?
Now
Can
we
you
can
hear
hear
me
you.
now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you do something?
Sometimes when I move the microphone, it so
Okay.
anyways, my bad. I was really talking away there. You mentioned the comment, anyways. I commented too, but obviously you couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
Tim O'Connell said everybody loves a new gadget. Yeah, everybody does love a new gadget, right? But like Carlos said, you can waste a lot of time on that, and you can think it's going to make a big difference. At the end of the day, it doesn't. Again,
Yeah.
like the what are the Stream Decks? They're cool. It's a cool little
Yes.
thing. You
Oh,
can code the
yeah.
keys, right?
Yeah.
A lot of fun. It's not going to make you a better trader. I always say it's like a calculator. It's like having a calculator. The Stream Deck is the
Yeah.
calculator of traders, right? It might help you add better,
Yeah.
but it's not going to make you a better mathematician. The same way, if you're a novice golfer, what do people do? They go buy a new driver or they buy a new club, and you're excited about it. It's fun. It's neat, right? You got the new club, you put it in your bag, or you buy some expensive balls, right? And you're like, I got the Titleist V1 or whatever the heck they are, and it doesn't make you a better golfer. You're still not making the tour by buying, the equipment, really, at the end of the day. And, that could be proven when you look at it the other way, right? Take a tour, a golfer. There's a couple of, what's the guy's name? Bryce, somebody? DeChambeau? Bryce? Anyway, and he goes out and he buys $100 set of clubs at Walmart and says, well, let me play this course. And he still sets a course record using crappy clubs. Again, it shows the equipment is not what's making the difference, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you got to acknowledge that it's fun, and yeah, sure, indulge in the fun, but don't use that as an excuse as to why your trading is not working, and don't buy that next gadget to try and improve your trading. That's not what's going to make the difference. Focus on the stuff I already mentioned, your psychology and believing in your trade.
It's so funny. You mentioned the Stream Deck. I got one a while ago, and literally the days after that, my purchase, the day after that purchase, were my worst. You know what? I have two, right? And if you notice, I can't pull them up because I'll disconnect a whole bunch of stuff here. But I have the big one here. Actually, there we go. Got the big one here, and if you look at it, there's not one hotkey for trading there at all. It's all how to switch the screens. We get Peter big here, me big, Peter here. So it's all for the stream, nothing to do with trading. And this other one too, because you just don't need it. You just don't need it. I do love them, but I started with this again, and I still love this thing right here, Peter.
Oh man!
I mean,
what the heck is that?
And this is this has
that is a thing.
This is so old. I was like 15 when I bought this, Peter. This is old.
Wow.
It's like that you can't buy this anymore unless it's on eBay or somebody has
That's
a
like
used
a
one.
gaming mouse of some sort.
And what I like about it is that's different than the Stream Deck. Although the Stream Deck is nice with the colors, I put my hand on it and I know where the buy, sell is, and I don't have to look down. I love that.
Wow,
so I just put my hand right on it. I got my escape button, which is this is my okay, it's a problem. Hit this one, close all positions, and it's been working. I used to use this for gaming for Battlefield 2142 when I was young. Me and my brothers sit down, play for hours. And I was like, man, I'm having problems with the hotkey. My brother says, hey, why don't you take out that gaming pad and use that? I'm like, oh, went to the basement, got it, and it's perfect.
There you go.
Love it. Yeah. So, just
awesome.
do what works. Do what works,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be fancy.
That's certainly true. It does not have to be fancy. All right, guys. Watching the market
What do
here.
you think of Tesla? What do you think of Tesla, Peter?
I stopped watching Tesla. I admit, let's go back to it. I was just watching Apple as it sort of rounded the top there. Tesla
Yeah.
feels choppy to me. I don't
Okay.
like the
Okay.
price action. It's very a lot of overlapping candles here, and
Mm-hmm.
now I watch a 1 minute. I know you primarily look at 5 minute, but even
Yeah,
on the
I'm
one
looking
minute
at both.
chart,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
it looks choppy to me. So yeah, not
Yep.
loving the
Yep.
way it's moving today.
Okay. Okay.
See, I like Apple better. Look how smooth Apple is in comparison. Right? Look at that.
Yeah,
Now
smooth.
flip to Apple.
That is
There you
that
go.
is
See how so
smooth.
much
Yeah.
smoother.
Yeah.
The candles are smaller, right? But
Yeah.
but it's just a smooth range compared to the stress you'd go through trying to trade a Tesla.
This is so clean, man. On Apple, it's wild. Um, just beautiful trading today.
PLTR
Um,
dropping to a new low today. Went red.
nobody mentioned PLTR in the chat this morning. That is strange. You guys love PLTR. Oh, what's going on with PLTR? Seems heavy.
Yeah, just a little move down here.
That's a good one. Andre.
Yeah, there's a lot of vowels going on there.
Yeah,
Andreo.
there's maybe some silent. That sounded good. I go with yours. Andreo says Andrew's trading it. Andrew went short
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
PLTR.
Look, sometimes that's enough.
Yeah,
Can
absolutely,
be. Let's face it,
absolutely.
PLTR is only an $80 stock. He can take 100,000 shares of that.
Boatload of that stuff. Absolutely. It's funny because you say 100,000 shares, but look how much it's traded so far, right? On that last 5 minutes, 483, right? So it
Yeah.
just kind of tells you how much volume this market, man. It's just crazy,
And
crazy.
and for anybody new out there, you may think we're joking, but 100,000 shares is an $8 million position if you were to take it on PLTR. That's only half of his account value. So
Yeah, yep.
it's absolutely within the realm of
It's
possibility.
doable. Yeah,
Yeah.
doable,
And
doable.
he takes sizes that are that big. So
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to show you guys something. Yeah, let's look at tradingterminal.com, friends. So I just want to go look at this real quick because I haven't had a chance to dive into it. But if you take a look, there's some pretty cool stuff on here. A lot of this stuff is actually I got to resize mine. Yours looks better, so I'll keep it on. Why can't I see the whole thing? Where is... I haven't probably programmed that. But I want to show you the whole entire screen there. So tradingterminal.com, again, especially for new traders, you're starting out, you want to save some money. There's a lot of pretty cool features you can take advantage of here. I'm just trying to get you a clean screen, which is going to be this one here. There you go. So a lot of pretty cool features. We are making some changes. We're constantly upgrading this thing. So definitely take advantage. Yep, we do see PLTR continues to drop below here. So making a new low. But a lot of cool stuff, man. Simulator, you got the scanners here. This is what we look at every morning, and the replay features. So take advantage of those. And this is the calendar. I like the new change they did to the calendar. And just want to remind you, tomorrow we are live tomorrow in the afternoon because we have Nike, we have Micron, and FedEx are going to be great tomorrow. Actually, right over here. So me, Peter, Brian will be live going through basically these three tomorrow at the close. So definitely join us for that right here on YouTube. But yeah, take a look at it. It's a lot of pretty cool stuff on here that are completely free to you. So definitely take advantage of it if you can. So yep, so I just want to share that with you guys.
cool. That is cool.
Yeah, like it. All right, let's see. Are you guys on today at 2? We didn't plan it. We didn't plan to be on today at 2. And I got stuff going on, so I can make it at 2, man. But you know what? It could be a nothing burger, Peter, today at 2. I mean,
It could be because again,
right?
99% of the analysts or 99% expectations that there's going to be no rate change, which means
Right.
we might get a tiny little blip at 2 and then nothing happens. Now, no matter what happens, even if it's a big move, it's likely to be one of those big moves that happens and then
Mm-hmm.
retraces because that's often what occurs. So, within
Yeah.
it could be a big event, but it'll be all over in 10 minutes. Then you got to wait
Yeah.
another half an hour or so for the press conference
For
and
her
see what
speech.
happens
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you never know like what's going to happen or when over the course of that press conference, because it depends on the speech he makes, the
Yep.
interpretation of that speech, the questions that get asked, etc. So
Yeah. In fact, next time we do go live, we didn't plan for this one, but I like doing these live things because I'm watching it anyway sometimes, and I have it up, and I would love to watch it with you guys, and you get our commentary. We'll start at like a 2:25 when he goes live, because you're right, Peter. We'll sit there 30 minutes just kind of waiting for him. Doesn't make sense. We don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. You know, your time is valuable. We'll do that. We'll just go on at 2:25, and it just stream him live and do our commentary. I think it'll be better. So it's a good point, Peter. Good point. Waiting 30
there you
minutes
go.
just to
Okay,
hear him talk there.
good. So
You getting some action, Peter?
look, well, I'm not sure if I didn't really break my rules because there are modification of my rules, but I told you I've been watching Apple. So
Yes.
Apple. So Apple's a funny thing to me. If you guys know my strategy, if you could just pop up maybe a 1 minute chart there, Carlos, it'll help
Yep.
explain it. Because a 1 minute, right around 10. So it was too early for me, but 9:57, it set a high of day. You can see at that time, right? And then you can see the two red candles where it pulled back just before 10 o'clock there, and then it
Right.
retested. And I was waiting to see what was going to happen on that retest, but it, of course, it sort of failed from my point of view, meaning it went higher. So it was really
Yes.
just an ABCD pattern. But then look at that nice wiki candle where the volume started to drop off right at the high that it set at 10:06. So yeah, so I was watching that. I was watching the sideways movement, and for me, it was around the 10:10 when I went short on that candle with a stop over that wick at the high of day, and I just been writing it down. I just felt comfortable talking about it now because it just crossed through the 50 moving average just a minute ago, and that gave me the opportunity for my first partial. So took
Nice.
that partial,
Nice.
and again, not a very big trade because my risk to reward here was fairly light. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but still not bad because I mean I had about a 40 cent risk, and that first partial I got about $1.40 on it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
That's
about 3 to
nice.
1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Great
like you
trade,
said,
man.
nice smooth, steady moves, right? So I said that's why I like that type of trade. Admittedly, it's a little more boring. It's not as exciting as you might find on a PLTR or a Tesla, but it's I don't mind boring if it makes me
Yeah.
money. I'm in for boring every single day.
Yep. Yep. My trading has become boring. That's why, it's very quiet. It's very quiet. Like I got one great trade today. That's it.
Yeah,
I probably won't touch
yeah,
anything else unless I see something great. Because every time you trade, you have to put risk on, right? So right now, I'm
yep,
not going to put risk on when we have a green day. Let's worry about tomorrow. Let's say this is in the books. We're green. Let's worry about tomorrow. So unless I see something that looks great, which I haven't seen right now, and I'm glad we talked about not jumping on this Tesla and ask for your opinion, which is great because look at this thing. It's just, you're right. It is messy. I was seeing it for a possible long. I was thinking about it, but yeah, it's messy. It's just not doing anything as it hits lower. And same thing with Nvidia. Pretty choppy right now. Now that does not mean the day's over because plenty of times we've seen things get really choppy, and then around 10:30, after 10:30, 11, we've seen these great reversals, man, on Nvidia, Tesla. So if you're still out there looking for trades, just be patient. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Oh, I see Andrew's on. He texted me right now too. All right, I'm gonna just give me 1 second, guys. Gonna bring in the
all
chat.
right.
Let's connect to the chat here. Good morning, Andrew. How you doing?
I am good. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. We're doing good here. Peter traded the open. I did as well. So
To
we're doing good today.
yeah,
Maybe
perfect.
Yeah, me too.
maybe I was wrong. Maybe this open thing is good for me because I am trading a little bit more at the open, and it seems to be working out. So
Did you
Yeah,
make
Brian, we
money,
got we got you
Peter,
too
Peter?
as well.
Did you
yeah, I've
make
had
money
two
on
green
Peter,
this?
you're
trades.
Oh, nice.
Peter, you're a beast.
Yeah, I took Tesla long right off the open, and I'm now short Apple from the high of day. So You know how I love to short things at highest of day. So there we go.
Ah, there you
Works
go.
for me.
I did three shorts on Nvidia. One at the
Okay.
open, one on a after it popped back up and rejected the VWAP, and another VWAP rejection.
Oh well, you're with
And
Carlos on that. He took an Nvidia short today too. So.
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
All right,
And I
excellent, guys.
just
We'll, we'll
just finished.
mhm.
Yeah, just finished a PLTR short. Had a nice breakdown. Went red on the day, so caught that
Mm-hmm.
nice flush down on PLTR.
Good.
Awesome.
And a bunch of our members in the room traded that one with me as well.
Sweet, sweet. Well, we'll let you guys too. We leave you and Andrew here. Today's Wednesday. I don't know if we have enough likes for a laptop yet. So no, I
Mm.
don't know. We need
We
we
do,
need
yeah. We want to
we
do the
do.
giveaway, but maybe a little bit later, maybe around
Okay, okay,
8. So we're gonna do a giveaway. We're gonna do it
awesome.
definitely this today. Um, but yeah, I had a really bad day, so all of my trades really were at a loss. So I'm actually sitting at $61,000 loss, unfortunately. Um, I traded like TSLA and NVDA and PLTR. PLTR didn't lose much, but Tesla TSLA just keep dropping on me. The reason for that, a couple of reasons. Today I had a meeting. I came to the office and I was late, and the microphone was the issue, and the hotkeys were okay, but the microphone was an issue. The new setup was a little bit different, and it was just rushed, and I didn't think very clearly, unfortunately. Um, but it's just all excuses. So when you're, for example, you're changing your environment, you're in a moving trading station, you're in, I don't know, your laptop, you gotta be really careful. Plus, I didn't have time properly to start. Like I came really late, and that impacted me a little bit. So these are really important. Like when you're actually changing your environment, you got to be super careful about share size and everything. Yeah, it was a really really bad trading day for me. Like the Nvidia was, I don't know if you guys can see my screen on YouTube, but the people in the chatting can see my screen. So Nvidia was really nice. It showed partial, same as TSLL. I had some really good trade on that partial on that, but I didn't. Um, and the day seems to
Yeah,
be over for me because I don't think I'm really trading anything right now at this moment, unless 2 p.m. The huge volatility comes in. If the J Powell says something that impacts the market, then I might actually trade, I don't know, TQQ or something. Brian had a better day.
I had a pretty decent day, like picking my spots to get in and out. Um, not this kind of market, you can't really chase things too much. But I will say SPY and the Qs really had a nice breakout. Um, we did a little bit of a chop for the first 10 or 15 minutes, but then we really broke out of these pre-market levels. Had a really nice move up there. Wow, PLTR really came back up. I didn't glad I got out of the remainder of that short. I was thinking it might get down to sort of 82 area, but I guess some buyers stepped in once we got to 83. Yeah, Boeing's one of the stocks that has really been on fire today. I actually had a
Oh,
short on that right at the open.
yeah, Daniel, it was just a rocket. I mean, bad trade management is also something. Let me actually bring my pen here on my screen. I can actually explain, um, like, where's my pen here? Somebody give me my pen. Oh, here. Um, So you can see my screen. Like for example, this trade on Tesla, I could make money on TSLA, especially I should have partial around here at around 8. But I was really negative on it and I wanted to make money. Nvidia also, this trade that I went long, this was my risk. And then obviously at the first R, I should have partialed here. So again, the concept of risk to reward, I should have partialed. I was really hoping that I can get the break of high of the day, and it was just too late. But when you're putting, for example, your risk here, in the first R, you should start partialing. You can see in my screen, in the first partial, you should start partialing. I was really hoping to get to 2 risk, 2R. So I can actually put this one here as well in the chat room, you guys can see it. And that got me not properly partially. This one I was really positive on NVDA, but I was also looking at my the big loss on TSLA. I really wanted to make it back with one trade. Same as PLTR as well. So I went on PLTR, fairly big size in PLTR, and so this PLTR, again, my stop loss was somehow around here. I did easily get over 1R profit, 1R profit on it. Again, I didn't partial properly. So trade management is also super important. So, wow, we get 526 likes. Carlos and Peter, it seems that people like you more than Brian and I.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Well,
that's not true.
We put a challenge out there. We have to admit that we said if they can get to 1,000 likes, we would pressure you hard to give away 2 laptops today. So that's what we were trying to get to.
It's funny because now that Carlos and Peter are doing a little bit longer on YouTube, Peter emailed us a few days ago and said, "This is not going to work for me. I cannot trade live. My whole life is falling apart." And I said,
"My whole life is falling apart." Did it sound that desperate?
Maybe I was. I'm losing money.
Peter, it did sound pretty bad after I read the email and text Andrew. Andrew.
Sorry about that.
Peter, I don't feel the same way Peter does. He put me in the email, but I don't feel the same way he does. Let's have a conversation.
Right. Fair enough.
I said, okay, all right, I'll come earlier or just jump off. I don't want your life to fall apart. It's not really worth it. No, it's hard. No, trading live,
would be an interesting short here.
Yeah, like it is really hard. Like honestly, when you're running a show, you have to monitor the chat, you have to monitor your account. It's really hard. It's not easy. Like I don't know how Brian. His daughter is in hospital right now as we're speaking, like literally at this time, 7:42 a.m., giving birth to a grandchild. And he's shooting a video, yoo-hoo, of humanity. It requires a different mindset.
That's dedication for you. No, I can't.
Well, you're just trying to make money to help with diapers because that's,
That's right.
These days.
What do they say now about raising a kid? It costs over $1 million.
That's right. And besides which, I mean, what are you going to be doing at the hospital? Certainly, you don't want to be in the room with your daughter. You're just,
No, definitely not.
Here, man.
That's one thing That's one thing I don't want to see. I'm short PLTR again.
There you go.
See, look at that. Like his daughter is blood coming. You can stress a little bit.
Nobody needs to see that.
Yeah, nobody needs. Yeah, that's not something I want to see. Yeah, sure. I'd be the guy boiling the water. You got to, when you have a baby, somebody has to boil water. That's me.
That's right. That's what you're doing. You're doing the same. You're boiling the water right now. Good for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, so shorting PLTR
and getting the towels. Okay, yeah. I'm going to cover some PLTR here at 83.65.
I'm going to cover some Apple as well because we're hitting 216. So
this was this trade was basically just a VWAP rejection.
Oh man, shorting PLTR.
Congrats, by the way, Brian.
Yeah, boogie, boogie woogie. You gotta can't get yourself worked up when you're trading. I do get angry when stocks don't go the direction I hope. Try to contain it.
Apple is back as the biggest company in the world. $3.2 trillion. NVIDIA is now second. 2.87. Microsoft 2.8. In terms of the market cap.
This latest PLTR trade and most of my trades this morning are examples of just trading my plan. I do like VWAP rejections or bounces. So again, PLTs are set up nicely for a VWAP rejection right 5 minutes ago. And I know where I'm going to stop out. If it starts to move above the VWAP, then I know the trade's not going to work out. So I know where I'm going to stop out. And have an idea of where I'm going to partial. Yeah, I love you, PLTR. Yeah. I haven't traded it very much. I didn't like the way it traded, but today it was nice. It had, like I said, it set up nicely for a breakdown through through yesterday's low or yesterday's close, I should say. And then when it came back up and hit the VWAP, set up again nicely for a short trade. So
Market is rolling over now. Intel setting off. Apple setting off.
here we go. Now it's gonna sell some more here, maybe sell off some more.
Fanny, I think for a small account, if you have a very small account, I think the best way to grow your account is probably through options day trading. I would encourage you stay away from small caps um, because small caps are super super tricky.
Risky.
Yeah.
They can be risky. I mean, I tend to I'll trade a few small caps, but mostly for swing trades. If I do like sort of the story, so you win some and you lose some, and it's sort of the same principle. I'm going to covered some more PLTR. Doesn't look like it's going to sell off again, but yeah, I use the same principle that the venture capital people use. You hope. If you take 4 or 5 trades, you hope one of them works out, and the others you kind of cut your losses if they don't. All right. And speaking of that, I got Neo Performance Materials. It's a small cap. It's a Canadian small cap. It's popping up today.
Um, yeah. All right. So we're gonna give away something today. Um, What do you want today?
Kind of getting into some pretty choppy price action.
Funded account, laptop membership, Ferrari. No, not Ferrari. No, not yet Ferrari. I'm not rich enough for lifetime membership. Sure, let's go. Funded account, P capital course is actually very interesting. Yeah, Ferrari. Um, nice. Bootcamp is good, Alex. Yeah, bootcamp is very nice. I think it's all is about the story of give a man a fish or feed him for a day or give him teach him how to fish situation. Uh, all right, so for today giveaway, we did something 2 weeks ago that was very interesting. It was um, from the followers on Instagram. So I have one. I don't have this YouTube picker on this computer in the office because I'm actually trading from the office. So I have one reel on my Instagram that is pinned, and if you guys go and comment on that and share that with some of your members, then I'm gonna give away one PCT and one lifetime membership. And it's I can actually send you the link of uh, that read as well. So then we randomly selected like we did 2 weeks ago to Instagram. So I'd like to be in touch with Instagram folks. The link is here, and it's pinned on my profile. So that would be the best, or maybe a laptop, depending on what you want. I just posted the link. It's pinned on my profile. Yeah, so Alisa, you can do that as well. It's not only for members. Then we can give away on that. So how do you cope with large losses? The losses are actually a little bit. I mean, the $60,000 loss is not that big for me. It's like around 0.5% of my account. It's not really that bad for me. So you have to look at it on on account size. You have to again, $60,000 could be a lot of it's your 100% of someone's account, but for me, it's not really that much of a big percentage wise. But it takes some time to really come into trust in your and confidence in your skills. And sometimes you get into a couple of really bad losses like this. You really get into this confidence, performance anxiety, and confidence issues with your things. I think today the main reason was I was just messy. I started my day really, really messy. Like I had a meeting with Nina. I was late. She was outside, and it was a little bit messy for me. So, and yeah, I mean, getting rid of your anger somehow, yeah, just go for a run. Like that's why I love running every day because it just releases all of my stress and anxiety for the day. Running is for me so important to exhaust all of those mess in my body. It's very, very important for me running. through that. So you have to find a meditation, yoga, swimming, walking, something that has to release. For me, running is like that. Like, and when I go climbing, mountain climbing for a couple of weeks, it's just really pure like vipassana. You know, you go, you know, with yourself, with your mind for a couple of weeks. Usually, you don't have a really good internet. That's how I thrive in life. Go through the problems that I have in life by running and by going into these big expeditions. Like really, when I climbed Everest, I got over my divorce and that $2 million loss that I had because that loss was 2022. And then I climbed Everest for that, and really my mind reached to a point that I fuck, can get over anything. Um, yeah, I recently got into also cold plunging, Dimitri. There is this spa here that I go pretty much like a couple of times a week. Yeah, cold plunge actually is super important. Like there's a very hot sauna, and after that you go to a cold plunge and just really, the high that you're getting is just unbelievable from that. And I was wondering actually next week that I can take actually the VIP people to that for 2 hours. We can go actually do some really good, hot and cold cycle. It really, 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 really opens up the mind, like unbelievable. I go to Tahiti, but yeah, Art of Sauna is one of them. Actually, today I might go there because I really need to sober up a little bit. And you got to find something that releases that anxiety and always play within your limits. That's also super important. Um, um, Meditation definitely helps. Um, I just don't do meditation. For me, running is that meditation that all I got into that.
Yeah, it's sort of a personal thing, but yeah, physical exercise is never a bad thing.
So, Chris, share and comment on the reel. And also, I'm on LinkedIn, guys. I like to be in touch with everybody on LinkedIn now. It's on my LinkedIn feed. If anyone in LinkedIn, I love to be in touch with folks on LinkedIn as well. So I put my link of my LinkedIn here. Brian's book is available only in Amazon. Our books are published only directly on Amazon, not on other platforms.
Mm. Yeah, you can just search our books. I think some links come up sometime in the chat, but you can search for our books just under our author name. So
Yeah,
things
our
are
guest
kind of
also
settling
that
into a bit of a range here. There isn't much price action going on. Tesla's kind of just flatlining. Nvidia's hasn't really done much in the last 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. PLTR is choppy.
yes, Sunny. So hotkey to buy and sell based on dollar amount, that's what I'm using actually. My hotkeys are share is based on buying power. So in your hotkey, you can define share equals to, like, for example, um, $20,000 divided by price or zero point 0.1 BP. It means like 10% of your buying power, 9% of your buying power. You can define that on a hotkey. That's what I'm using. I think my hotkeys are, I think $50,000 worth. So the shares would be equal to 50,000 divided by price. So that automatically calculates that.
Is there any other, anybody got any other questions out there for us? No, we're here now, Delvin. So,
Nice. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for adding me on LinkedIn, guys. I love to know the members through outside. Like, for example, I can see that Brandon's a lifetime member. Johnny, love that. Brandon Wiki, it's really nice, amazing. Dawood, film director, love that. Yeah, thanks for adding me, guys, on LinkedIn. Love to be in touch with you. So the consensus for the Fed meeting is so the idea here is that the traders are actually betting on maybe one extra rate cut this year. So I was actually looking at the Bloomberg, so you can see it on my screen, the chat room, that traders look for more rate cut this year. So now that the fear of recession is here, so rate cut, they're expecting that we get another extra rate cut this year. And when they're announcing their dot
Yeah.
plot, so maybe they can kind of show that they're more willing to give more rate cuts, which weakens the US dollar, but it might pump up the bonds in the stocks market.
Man, look at the price chart on Apple
Just going down
on
here.
the
Oh,
daily.
yeah. Yeah, it's just,
Oh
oh,
my
daily.
God, it
It's also
just
1 minute. It's just going
no, just
downhill.
just on the 1 minute. Yeah. Like look how it screamed higher and then it's literally just been it's like a nice it looks like a bunny run on ski hill. It's just been just slowly grinding down ever since it topped out around 1010. Crazy. Well, it's 8 o'clock or 11 o'clock somewhere. So I'm going to grab
Yeah.
some
All right. So
breakfast
we're
here.
gonna
I'm
hand it
getting
over
kind of
to
hungry.
the chat room, guys. Remember for the draw, uh, like and share and comment on my last reel that I actually pinned on my profile, and yeah, I'll select it tomorrow through the random comment selector. And yeah, sorry about this. I'm gonna actually come back later to the office and see if the Fed's ADTX is crazy. Yeah, ADTX is running up crazy. Um, and then maybe trade the Fed's volatility in the afternoon, guys. Sorry about that, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll see what happens at 2 o'clock. Again, it's not going to be so much the decision because I think everybody is 99% sure nothing's. It's not going to change. It's the what they call the dot plot and the sort of projections for where they think interest rates may be dropping and when. And then, of course, Fed chairs Fed Powell's comments at 2:30 when he takes to the microphone. So just be careful. Markets could be quite volatile depending on what he says. Cheers, everyone.
All right, thank you, Brian and Andrew. All right, friends, we're going to have Paris join us now. So give me 1 second. I'll disconnect from chat. Thor will be live in chat room, and then Paris will continue here in our YouTube channel. So, all right, let's get Paris' link here ready to rock and roll. Here it is. Paris is not late. That's my fault. It doesn't have a link. I lost track of time. And when Brian said it was 11, I was like, wait, what? We're having way too much fun. I'm enjoying the conversation, enjoying the trading, enjoying your comments on YouTube. And when he said it was 11, it really caught me off guard. So I just sent the link to Paris. He's going to join us in just a second here. And we'll see what some of his trades are for today. All right, over on YouTube, guys, things are getting exciting. We got 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock actually as well. It's going to be the second open. Again, don't think it's going to be fireworks, but just be aware of it. Like if you're in a trade, if you're thinking about getting into a trade, just be aware that that's happening so you don't get caught off guard. Which book? Table tennis. Brian has some. You could just search Brian Pessum. I'll write it here in chat. Just search that, and it's gonna come right up. Brian Pessum. And you can also, like, even if you search Andrew Assis, you're gonna see. I think there's a link. I think they're linked on when I look up Andrew, Brian comes up as well. So that's another way of doing it. Um, and then the other thing you could do is I'll send you this other link so you can see all our publications. Is when you go to bearwithtraders.com, you click on education, and if you scroll down, I'll actually bring this up for you guys here. So you go to education, right? bearwithtraders.com//education, and I'll copy this as well. Make it easy there for anyone that's interested in any of our books that we have. bearwithtraders.com/education. Then you scroll to the bottom when you get to this page, and you're going to see all the way to the bottom our best-selling publications on here. So Andrew's book, How to Swing Trade from Brian. You also had a Advanced Technique in Trading from Andrew. How to Trade Options from Brian. We have Artie. We have a bunch here. Mike, this is a great book, guys, here as well. Take a look at that one. Again, a bunch of great stuff here. So definitely take a look. Good morning, Paris. How you doing, my friend?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, brother. Yeah.
Uh, Perfect. I'm very good. How are
Awesome,
you,
man.
Carlos?
I'm good, my friend. Good. Great day today on Nvidia. Yeah, one and done, man. Not a
That
huge
is
one, but
awesome, man.
enough to not make me take something else. So yeah,
I
yeah. Because
am,
the last couple of days, I've been like my first two trades have been losses, right? And then a little bit later, I'll get a good winner on these reversals that we're getting. Like you had one. Was it Nvidia or Tesla yesterday? I had one on Tesla. What did you trade? Was it Nvidia?
one second. There is a lot of echo coming. Hold on. Give me one
Yeah.
second.
Okay. That's
Okay.
Paris.
How about now?
Checks out what's going on. I mean, I don't hear it on my end, man. I don't know if it's on your end or not, but I don't hear it.
You
The
hear me
echo.
now?
Yeah, I hear you. Can
Awesome.
you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
now it's good.
Okay. Perfect.
Man,
All right.
I traded Tesla. I'm in Tesla right now.
Nice.
Man, it's been a struggle. I
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
I cannot explain how much of a struggle. Like I see things in front of me and it's still just not moving. The momentum is like it showcases a momentum and it's not there. And that's been a struggling point overall. Let me share my screen. The only thing I traded today was Tesla, and it's been a struggle. I like there is nothing else I can say about it.
Yeah.
But
It's not been pretty, that's for sure. Yeah.
yeah, it's not been pretty. I am profitable on the day though, but the chart is not clear. That it's not a clean chart. That's what I want to like. I like to see a clean chart, but it's just the nature of trading in the current scenario. Let me. You should be able to see my screen now.
Yep. I'm trying to get that set up here. We're gonna do Paris's screen. There we go. And then I'll bring your camera back just 1 second. There it is. Got the right circles now.
Okay, let's see if it has a chance to break the. I've been looking for the break of high of the day all day, and Tesla, even though it has been showcasing strength, but it hasn't been breaking that high of the day. And maybe this is the chance if it this time if it continues it this is a chance it breaks the high of the day. And I'm long from 231, very heavy size. So now it popped up. Let's see if it has a strength to continue. Now it's popping up. Very nice. Okay, selling some. 232.70. So now now I'm looking for the break of high of the day. I think this is the second, third, fourth, fifth time that the Tesla is gonna try to break the high of the day. Yeah, Bruiser, I use hotkeys. And I'll talk about my thesis, guys. I'll come up to my thesis on why did I trade, on what did I trade. But uh, I can't explain how, like, these many triangles that you see, it's looks are very messy, but sometimes it's like sometimes you have to. I was just seeing things that were very strong, and I just kept taking those trades. And you still have to manage your risk. I still went cutting my size and then getting back in, cutting my size and getting back in. So overall, I made money on it, but yeah, it's just not clean. I'm still holding like 1,500 shares of Tesla right now. Hey Kuldeep, hey James, how's everyone doing at YouTube? Tesla. Now let's see, Tesla. Give me that bounce, Tesla. Okay, Tesla is popping a little more. Let's see if it breaks the 233. It broke the 233. Boom. Very nice. Boom, boom. I love you, man. So I think the YouTube was waiting for me to come in so that they could just buy it on Tesla. Yeah, Diego, I'll get back on explaining. I'm looking for the break of high of the day, 234. And I'll explain on what I did overall. Like, if you look at this, I was very heavy size here, like 230. Like you see this, like this is where I like tier 3, tier 4 size. And I claimed I moved, captured the entire move, even added more and got stopped out break even. But this was one of the big trades for me. Now this is turning out to be one of those big trades for me. At the open was also a very good trade for me, very good pullback right here, and then added back for the break of high, never added more, and then this is where I messed up. This is where I get, I was getting back in, cutting size, getting back in, cutting size, getting back in, cutting size, and then finally getting stopped out because the momentum was there, the volume. Okay, so now Tesla is gonna squeeze now. I think very, very nice, very nice. Boom, guys, boom. I killed it on this one. So now I think it's a very good chance it breaks the high of the day. Man, this was a struggle today. This Tesla, I just was seeing that. I did nothing else but Tesla today. I did not even look at any other tickers. I was watching Tesla like a hawk. Nothing else in any ticker today. Yeah, Apple looks like an algorithmic trade. Okay, Tesla is gonna break the high of the day, guys. So Tesla is definitely looks like it wants to break the high of the day. Now the real buyers are getting in, and the momentum still continues. So PLTR also breaking out. I think Tesla is also breaking out. Nvidia is breaking out. SPY is breaking out. I think yeah, Tesla triple top or quad top, I would say, because this was like first, second, third. Now this is the fourth time is I think it's gonna break out. There is no triple top here. I think it's gonna break out the upside. Yeah, I'm still holding 1,000 shares for it to break out. See, maybe if it does a pullback, I might even add more at the pullback. Okay, Tesla is pulling back. So Tesla, 84, 81 dropped. Adding more on Tesla, I got a bad fill on that. I wanted to add at 232.61. Yeah, I got a bad fill on there. Yeah, I would hate if this completely reverses. I think SPY also sold off really bad. Maybe that's why it's dropping. But Tesla has that relative strength today, guys. I I don't know how to explain this without showcasing you what tape is telling you, but today Tesla has that relative strength. It has a chance to go up, and I feel it. That's uh so Tesla coming back up. Let's see if it breaks the 233 again. Uh Can you talk a little bit about your broker and trading app setup? Yeah, I'll definitely talk about it. Yeah, Lan, I added at 232.61. 232.61, I was thinking it was a buyer. That's where I saw a buyer. Let's see if it holds the 232.61. So SPY is selling off too, so that's not a good sign for Tesla to continue going higher. But Tesla does have a relative strength, so I still have that conviction on it. But sometimes when the SPY sells off really hard, then they tend to pull up all the other stocks on with their side. So 233 lifted. Now let's see if it is able to hold the 233 and step up higher. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Tesla popping up higher, guys. So let's see now. It has that continuation to the upside. It still needs to hold the 233 area. Somebody slammed it. It is holding up nicely though. I think it is holding. It is very good chance it breaks to the high of the day. It is holding up nicely. I might even add here. So nice. It's trying to pop up now. Let's see if it breaks the high of the day now. Okay, selling some. 233.50. Now let's see if it breaks the high of the day. Very good chance it breaks the high of the day. It is gonna break like a boss now. Come on, Tesla. You have been my loyal girlfriend, so you gotta give this to me. It's gonna lift, 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 lift. It's gonna lift now. Boom, boom. Let's go lift. Again, a little bit of seller there, but it's absorbing it, so which is good. It's gonna lift now. I think it's gonna let me put some orders right there. 234. I think it's gonna squeeze to the upside. Boom, boom, lift, 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 fill me. 234. No, it's still trying to hold. Boom. Let's see. There was a big volume that came in. That was a big volume that came in. Boom. Now it's gonna fill. Now it's gonna fill. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fill me. Fill me. Break the high of the day. Ah man, again it got rejected. It's still struggling right there, but it'll come back. I think it's gonna come back. Now it's gonna fill. Let's fill. Let's see if it falls. 234. Come on. It's gonna break like a boss, guys. You'll see it. It's holding up nicely. Now it's gonna break like a boss. Don't embarrass me in the YouTube guy, Tesla. Now it's gonna break. Break, 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 break. Left to boom, boom. Break, break the knife. Boom. Now it's there. See that? Ah, I knew it. See that, guys? That's what you call as a boss. Boom. This is what you look for. This is what you look for. Boom. Love you, Tesla. Yeah, I knew you were gonna go there. I knew you. Ah, now I am heck of a day right now. Now this is what you call heck of a day. Yeah, now I'm scaling out. Nice. Nice. Love you, Tesla, man. Love you. You never disappoint me. And this is what happens when you have conviction on it, guys. And I had conviction because I was able to see it, that the buyers were very, even though the stock was choppy and there was still every single time, every dip was being bought back up. And it's just a matter of time if it works out for you in your first hit. Sometimes it works out, it takes few tries to see it, but you have to see it first. Yeah. Did anybody take that with me, guys? That even ad was a perfect ad. Like 232.61 was the area that was buying. Oh, now I only have 20% remaining. 200 shares. Nice, Zuko. Nice. Nice, IV747. Very nice. Yeah, I knew it was gonna break like a boss. Once it breaks out on the high, this is where real new buyers get in. What a day. So they're trying to hold the 235 now. And the next level that I want to see is, yeah, 240. 240 would be the next level. I'm thinking of adding more in Tesla. Yeah, that was a good add at 234.60. But I am just strong, do not have that conviction. So it is trying to hold the 235. It is, I wouldn't be surprised if it consolidates here for a little bit. SPY is breaking out close to the high of the day. A very nice nav. Daniel, what are you trading? ADTX? What is ADTX? Everybody's talking about ADTX. What is that? What is that stock? Oh, it had a halt as well. And now, yeah, the only challenge is like you see this VIX, it's very difficult to manage, and plus it's on a $10, $11 stock, it has a spread of 2-3 cents. Okay, so Tesla is actually broke out, selling a little more, 235.75 on Tesla. Yeah, now I think I can swing it. Now I'm thinking of swinging it. Overall, the Tesla has been that strong. Like, yeah, this is a very valid breakout. And even on a daily, it's yeah, tomorrow I wouldn't be surprised it gaps up tomorrow. Yeah, I'll swing it. I'll absolutely swing it. I think it has a very good chance. Even forget about 240, it could go to 250. Yeah, I don't have many shares left either, so. Oh, right, FOMC. I forgot about it. Yes, no. I'll have to get out then. Yeah, I don't want to hold it to FOMC. It can go either ways. The chances are it goes up, but I would be hesitant to hold it. So we still have 2 more hours to go. 2.5 hours. Yeah, thanks for letting me know, T-Man. Yeah. 236, guys. 236. I think 235 held pretty well. So 240 would be in the books now. So who all are coming to Vancouver, guys? Only less than 2 weeks remaining for Vancouver. Come hang out with us, guys. It's gonna be full packed of learning. Do not underestimate the power of learning and community. It's awesome, RL. Where are you traveling from? Lilika, very nice, Lilika. Uh, Looking forward to see you. Ariel, where you guys coming from? Where you guys traveling? I'm traveling from DC, so it's taking me, it's a 8-hour flight. There's a stop in between. Oh, you're coming from BC, okay? Saskatoon. Is that in Canada? I don't know. Okay, break of 236. I think it's gonna go to 230. Yeah, good chance to continue higher from here. What a trade it turned out to be, guys. This is Yeah, and guys, people who are interested in like how to read the tape and how to read what is happening, how to understand the imbalance, there's a lot of information you get from the time and sales and level 2. check out the course that I have on Train Terminal. It also comes with the weekly mentoring sessions. So check that out, and monthly tape review sessions. So check that out on Train Terminal. I think Carlos just, or Beable Trader just pinged the link. Oh, nice, Lika. Nice. Yeah, there would be like close to like 200, 300 people. I think close to 300. So you'll find a lot of same people with the same uh, intention of making a career out of trading, if that's not the case. People with not with the same background, but coming out from a different background, but with the same intention of learning to trade or getting better with trading. Like-minded. Yes, I was looking for that word, like-minded traders. Thank you. So I think now there's a little bit of topping action at 236. I think there's another pullback coming to 234. 236 to 234, hold this area range, and then eventually later part of the day closes at the high. Depending on FOMC too, sometimes it could have a good volatility for the FOMC. And there's gonna be um, there's a party on one of the nights as well, in the Paradox, and Paradox is a great hotel. And especially who came last time in the Vancouver, Andrew is like, he doesn't make any money out of it, and he spends like I'm like, I can guarantee that he'll have a great time. It's because it's his area, it's its location. He has some really good contacts, and he spends. He doesn't hesitate to spend on good. So yeah, people who can come, I would definitely recommend can come. It's gonna be a great opportunity. You work hard on the daytime and then you party harder in the evening. So now to 36.25, it's gonna break again. Let's see if it breaks another high. Boom. Selling some. 236.50. What a day, guys. What a day it done. This is what you call a real breakout. It just no pullback, it just continues to go higher. Yeah, I can trade Tesla options too, but the thing is, for me, it is the ease of getting in and out. Because I'm watching the tape, if I don't like it, sometimes I go out, like getting in and getting out. Like Tesla doesn't have any issues getting in, getting out. And with options, sometimes with the spread that you're paying, and sometimes you have to, uh, it takes sometimes, that slippage on options is a lot higher, and you still have to manage your strike price and what's right to get in, and you have to be quick as well. So to be able to figure out on that, it would take me some time to get in and get out. So that's why for stocks, I usually like trading the stock, and I don't have any issues in terms of my trading account. I trade with a $300,000 trading account, and I get a leverage of 1.2 million. So yeah, so I don't have issues getting in, getting out on Teslas. It could be good in terms of risk reward if nice. 237 guys. I tried to hit at 237, but it did not hit. Nice. This is a strength, guys. This is the strength. Anybody still in with me? So yeah, people who like Avi trades options, he trades all the time and it works out for him, but he doesn't use like tape or he just use the regular charts, which works out really nice for him. But for me, for the ease of getting in and getting out is really important. And with the liquidity that Tesla has, like every minute you see like 300,000 shares or 500,000 shares being traded every minute. Like imagine the Yeah, you basically as a like you have to sell into strength. You buy at the pullback or buy at the weakness and sell at the strength. So Jesus, when you join the chat room, there is a separate section where you can communicate with people who speak Spanish. And so nobody from the moderator standpoint, we usually use English as the main source of language, but in Spanish, there is like if you want to chat with people who want to talk in Spanish, yeah, there's a separate tab for it. Okay, SPY is gonna break out on the high of the day. Now it's doing another pullback, so now that's not good. So what is Nvidia doing right now? Nvidia is also breaking the high of the day. What is PLTR doing? PLTR was interesting. Yeah, PLTR rallied on this thing. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten in either. I wanted to go long around this area, 84.50, and then it sold off, then bounced back from 84 and then rallied here. And after this rally, I would be hesitant to go long here. The only reason is it's just popped up strength-wise. You have to have a decent pullback for it to go higher. So that's why I wouldn't go long either. Not a part of my process. So PLTR, though it popped up, never gave me an opportunity to get in. So nothing on PLTR. What is Apple doing? Ah, so this kind of price action, guys, this is what like this is an algorithmic price action. Like just like some algorithm that traded a triggered an order and they just follow that 9 EMA. This is see this is a trigger of a sell. And usually when, I don't know why Apple had that trigger, but usually I see this price action when there is a gap down on the earnings, usually on the gap down, because people have to like the algorithms have to liquidate their positions, and gap down on the earnings, like really bad earnings, and then they have, okay, now they have to liquidate their position. Now they're just looking to just immediately, they won't sell very quickly, like they won't like sell you very like quick drop. They would like slowly grind lower to get the best exit possible for their exit, because they have to take a loss, but they want to get out in a much more efficient manner. And that's why you have this algorithm just getting triggered. So Lan, I like trading at the pullbacks, and there is a reason behind it. The reason behind it is that there are two things. One is I'm confident about my tape reading skills, and I can time. I'm confident about my timing on my entries. Second thing is, uh, I do not uh, the adding at a pullback or taking a position at a pullback is usually not trading based on confirmation. A confirmation happens when it breaks out. Like for example, on Tesla, a lot of people got in at a confirmation, maybe somewhere here, this breakout, right? Or maybe this breakout. But I like to get in, like this is a pullback. I like to get in around this areas, because if the stock doesn't trade or it doesn't go in my favor, I'm not losing much. But if it does goes in my favor, uh, I would make a shitload of money there, because my risk reward becomes exponential. And so if you look at this, let's talk about Tesla, guys. Now let's talk about what my thesis was. Okay. In this case, let's jump in a little bit here. Okay. Now, if you look at the open, the stock sold off. One of the indication that I had a limit order already placed at 230. It never went to 230, but then once it was bought back up right here, this is a 1 minute opening range. So I'm not even waiting for the breakout to happen. I'm actually getting in earlier than this. Why am I getting in earlier before the 1 minute opening range breakout? Because I see that the tape is actually stepping up and the buyers are stepping in on the tape. I'm anticipating that the breakout will happen. So this is where you're trying to get in before the breakout even happens. So you're trading based on the confirmation that you're getting on the tape, right? So now, if it would have pulled back right here, I would have added more. This is where you're trying to add the breakout at this point. So this is, but now think about this factor, that if the stock would not have worked in my favor, let us say it popped up right here and then consolidated right here and then started to go down, right? Now I'm not losing. And now what is this? This is like literally 40-50 cents. This 50 cents I'm risking on the trade at this point for me to get out of my position, because this becomes now an opening range breakdown instead of opening range break up. So if it drops like this is where I'm going to lose 50 cents on that. And that's that. And so what I'm doing is I am getting in early and anticipating a breakout based on the tape. And if it works out in my favor, I'm a very high risk reward profit. If it doesn't work out, I'm not losing much. My risk reward is 50 cents. But ideally, if I would have waited for it to break out at the breakout area right here, then I will have to risk $1 right here. So instead of a 50 cents risk, I would be risking $1 or close to more than $1 for me to technically get out on a trade, because technical stop loss is below this particular candle for me, right? So that's the whole process. So now instead of risking $1, I'm risking 50 cents. Now if this goes in my favor, so it went from 231 to 235, 234. It's a $3 pop, right? And when it goes from $3 pop, that means I'm already made 1:6 risk reward. So I'm risking 50 cents. It already made 1:6. I can get, scale out very quickly at this point because my first exit is actually 1:3 or 1:2 risk reward, then 1:3 and 1:4, 1:6. And then I'm adding more into the position and now looking for another break of high of the day. And then I scaled out again. So even though it worked in my favor, I I still made a good amount of money in this case uh, by getting in earlier and managing my risk reward. And you will see me very quickly getting in and getting out because I am more relying on the fact that I am good at tape reading skills because I can time my entry well. And this is where now I went into long. It tried to pop up, but then very quickly sold off again. And I stopped out break even. I actually gave a little bit more than the break even. So this is where I got stopped out. And then I went back in when the volume comes in right here at this point, that comes back and it tried to pop up, but very quickly sold off. I was like, okay, I don't respect that. And I have to get out of this. So I got out of this particular stock, losing like 10, 15 cents on it. And then when the volume came in again, I think this was the time where the news came in too. And I was looking, okay, the momentum is there. Now it can squeeze very quickly to the upside. So it did pop up. I even added more. I was like, this is a pullback and now it's going to continue. And then I had to cut my size. Okay, now it's coming back again. Nothing there. And then when it came back again, I added more. And then I added more again. So I was aggressive here. And then I was like, the momentum was not in my favor in this case. I was very confident that it's going to break here at this to the upside. But then you still have to manage your risk. Sometimes, you're trying to get in, trying to capture the momentum, but sometimes it doesn't appear. So this is where I cut my size again. I was like, okay, I was very heavy on it. I was cutting my size, but every single time I was showcasing strength, it was coming like I was adding back in. And this is where, okay, I added back in and then I got stopped out finally. Like this was the momentum on the downside, then on the upside. I was like, I'm not going to touch it again. So this is where I have to wait again. So this is where I had a big loss here because I was trying to get back in, but it wasn't a big loss as compared to the profit that I gained because I always keep cutting my size to if the strength is not coming up or the things that I want to see on the tape, if I'm not able to see that, because if I get into a position, I want the momentum to work in my favor immediately. If it's not working in my favor, then there is no reason for me uh, to hold that position. So I keep cutting my size until I get stopped out at, so my stop was below this range right here. So I got completely out. Now I had an important level of 230. And let me bring up why 230 was such an important level for me. First of all, 230 was the high of the day yesterday. And people who saw me trade yesterday, I literally went long here at 229, popped up to 230, and was by the the what do you call it was very, very strong seller, exactly pinpointing at 230. So if it's gonna now, if it held the 230 all day at this point, and now it's gapping up above 230, 230 becomes a very important level for me. So that's what I get it from yesterday's tape reading and today's tape reading. So today every single time it went below 230, there was a buyer who tried to step up at this point. So this is where I started scaling into my position. So this is where I go long at this 230 area. Then I added more. And my stop loss was, okay, I have to give a little bit of more room. I would add more if it dips a little bit more below, but my stop loss was below 229. I'm going to give a $1 for this to work just because how this volatile stock, and I was trying to catch the falling knife too. But I was scaling into my position because 230 was a very, very interesting level for me, and I was kept seeing buyers at that levels. Now I was seeing it, and then when it popped up right here, and then I started scaling out. This was from 230 back to 234 again. It closed. I never sold it. I sold my 233, but that is a $3 pop right there, and then it pulled back. I added more right here for the break. This is the break that I was anticipating of 234 breakout, right? And And yeah, so now I then got stopped out at break even. So this was unfortunate. I was very confident that it's gonna go there as well, but it never did, and still have to manage your risk. Then this is where I took another trade at 230 right here. Again, the buyers were trying to step in, long, cut my size, long again, completely got out. This is where I messed up. This was again a loss there. So I gave back all my profits that I made here in this particular thing. Now this was the another thing where it popped up with volume right here. This is where this volume came in. This volume came in, which was more than the average volume that was there. I was like, okay, now this is a shallow pullback right there, and now I'm adding to the position. Once I'm adding to the position, it popped up. This was also the range that was 232. I sold some, but I was seeing buyers around the same area that I was trying to get in. So I have to give a little bit of more room for it to work in my favor. And as you can see, it was in front of you guys. I added more at 231.20 area. That was the area. This was very close to getting me stopped out. I think my stop loss was very close to 230.60. But this was very close to getting me stopped out. But then I was very quickly biased. I was even thinking of adding more, but just because I was getting chopped up all day, I did not add more here. But I was still very good size on this. And then scaled out to it, added at the pullback in front of you, and then this was the breakout that I was looking at. And you basically what you're doing is you're trying to sell at the breakouts or sell in the strength. So yeah, so that was a detailed explanation of how I traded. Okay, guys, and it is top of the hour too. So hope it was a valuable session, guys, and have you have a great rest of the day, and see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Take care.